If you want to move to Chicago, man, go for it. Do it. What's the worst that can happen? Nothing. The more you fuck around, the more you find out. People on their deathbed, they never regret the things that they did. They regret the things that they didn't do. Don't keep putting it off. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to go someday. I'm going to go someday. Because then eventually years go by. Someday turns into never. You might have intentions on really doing it. Anything can happen that's going to interfere with it. And then you're like, well, shit, and I can't go now.
3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to episode 62 of Ruse Radio. We are back at it again with another fantastic, amazing, spectacular, mind-blowing guest. Could you introduce yourself, my friend?
What's good? It's your boy Joey Koff. You know, Flint, Michigan representing. Let's get it.
Yeah,
did that sound cool enough? Or
no, that was beautiful.
Like,
No. Well, I was wondering if you were going to do the legendary cough. I was wondering.
I got to. It's my trademark, man. They wouldn't know it was me if I didn't do it, you know?
Yeah.
Now they know it's me. It's really me. It's like on that old Master P album. We're like, man, if this ain't no motherfucking P, if this P didn't say, you know, like you got to say, and like that proves that he was really Master P, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I get it. I mean, that's kind of cool, even in a way. I'm kind of jealous. I got to be honest, because I wish I had a thing that I could do.
You
I
need
could
your
just
own
whip it out.
trademark, man.
Exactly, and I don't have that. I don't have a thing that I could just. Well, you know, people have trademarks in different ways, but like my trademark's not something I can just whip out immediately in a conversation like yours. Like that's what's good. It's like.
Because, like, anyone can have a mustache and a Hawaiian shirt. Like, that doesn't mean that they're ruse, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But that's actually kind of an argument for the fact that I do have a trademark. And if you look deeper into it, maybe there's something in there. Because, like, not anybody could pull this off in the way that I do.
No, I couldn't wear it.
Exactly.
Like, this is about as long as I can even grow a mustache. Like, I can't even grow a good mustache.
Really?
Yeah, it's hard, man.
I just shaved.
I can grow a beard. I just shaved my beard down, but my beard has been fairly long. But my mustache never really, you know, I never get that Burt Reynolds or that Tom Selleck. You know what I'm saying?
This happened on accident. If it makes you feel any better.
Oh yeah, I feel a lot better. I'm a lot more secure now. You know.
I just wanted to say that.
Knowing you're way younger than me with a way better stash. You know what I mean?
Hey man, I you know what upsets me? You know, you can give me your opinion on this, and the viewers at home, you see this on video, so you can give me your opinions on this. So you see my face, and I'm wondering, right, with my mustache the way it is, should I trim it right now, or should I just? Because I'm thinking this is too much already. Like it's growing faster than it ever has. It's getting to proportions that I didn't.
I
expect.
don't know about trimming the like length or like the thickness of it, but maybe just trim it where it doesn't go over your lip. You know.
Yes, exactly. Well, the sides though, the sides come down. And it's like, well, that's a bit much, right?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I
just cut my own. That's the thing. I'm not an expert. I know mine isn't even really on point, but I'm a cheap bastard, man.
You're
so
right.
I just shave my own, you know. Fuck
right.
it.
So what's your shaving process? So let's hear about it.
Well, I shave my head because I'm bald, so I shave my head in the shower with a razor, and I usually have a mirror in the shower, and that way I can get everything. If not, then I shave as much as I can, and then when I get out, I just shave the sides and the parts that I miss. And then
how often do you do that?
About twice a week. Okay. And then as far as my beard, sometimes I'll shave like under this little stuff like with a razor, but usually I'll just literally use the clippers. And I'll just shave it like as low as it'll go. And then I used to shave my beard on like a 2, like a number 2, because I used to want it like really short, like a 2 or a 3. But lately I'll use like a 6, maybe a 7, just to kind of shave my beard up and line it up. I have actually a couple times recently, I have went to a barbershop and actually paid $10 for a lineup. But it looked okay, you know what I mean? But it wasn't a whole lot better than the way I do it myself. So I'm like, man, why am I going to pay somebody $10 when I have literally a good pair of clippers at home? I can just do it myself. So I don't have an exact routine or like timeline like I shave every so many days. I kind of just do it when I realize it's getting too long, you know?
Yeah.
Or like, when I got to go on like Ruse's podcast, then it's like, oh shit, got to look good.
I went through a phase for this last week where I wasn't shaving my face properly. And you know what? With a guy like me, with the mustache that I have, it's terrible to do that to myself. I mean, I'm just like, what am I thinking? I'm making this mustache not stick out in the way that it should. I shouldn't have facial hair around.
You got to showcase the caterpillar, man.
Exactly. And I'm messing that up. So, I I'm going through it just in different ways. But, I mean, I never know when to shave this thing, and it's growing faster and faster. Like, I imagine your facial hair didn't used to grow like this. I imagine you didn't used to shave like this.
No, it seems like the less hair I have on the top, the more I have down here, man. It's like it's
Yeah.
growing downward, you know?
How does it work?
I don't know, man.
Maybe there's some science to that.
Yeah.
It goes from the top to the bottom.
Biology, man. I don't know. I should have paid attention in class.
Yeah, exactly. There's something in there. I know there is. So, one thing I wanted to mention to you on the podcast, one thing I wanted to bring up, I wanted to remember to bring this up, is we could go all the way back, but I wonder about the origins of Jabberjaw. What's the story of Jabberjaw?
Okay, so Jabberjaw, for you guys that don't know, was my original rap name, or at least the first one that I really started doing music with. And so yeah, I was like a teenager, you know, and I was trying to just doing rap battles and trying to do music or whatever. And at the time, my name was Laser, which I thought was a whack name, but it was the best name I came up with at the time. It stood for Lyrical Assassin Serving Excellent Rhymes. So it was like an acronym. And I always thought it was kind of whack, but that's all I had at the time. So I was calling myself Laser. And
I kind of like it.
but I was open to a new name. I was hoping I would find another name, but everyone I tried to think of sucked. You know what I mean? I remember one I was gonna call myself illegal, and I'd call myself JMG because those are my initials, and I had all these just whatever basic ass names, but none of them were really great. And then anyways, one day I was at my house and I was sitting on the couch. And my brother was in the bedroom, next to me, and he was trying to sleep. And I just kept talking. And he said, man, shut up, you fucking Jabberjaw. And when he said that, it just something clicked. I was like, Jabberjaw, dang, that'd kind of be a cool name. And it fit me because I talk a lot. You know, I used to talk a lot. Nowadays, I've calmed down a little bit. But if you guys knew me back then, man, I would never shut up. So it actually was the perfect name. And then it was also a cartoon shark too, and so there was a cartoon shark named Jabberjaw too. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, it just that's how I came up with the name. My brother said it, not even thinking about that being my rap name. But now he'll take credit for it and be like, "Yeah, I came up with your rap name," like it was deliberate or something. You know what I mean? But really, he was just trying to tell me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Did he mean it when he said it?
Oh yeah, no, he meant it. He meant it. Shut up, I'm trying to sleep, you know?
Came out completely accidentally.
Yeah, but I mean that's the best thing, because like I said, I was racking my brain trying to come up with names, and it's the best thing I came up with was Laser, you know what I mean? And then it's the same thing with songs. A lot of times you'll sit down, and I'm sure you know this, you'll try to write a song and you're trying, and it's just not coming together because you're not really inspired. You know, it's not coming from a natural place. But how many times have you just been chilling or whatever, and all of a sudden an idea literally just pops in your head out of nowhere? You're like, holy shit, that'd be a good idea for a song. Or you hear somebody say something, or a time where you're not trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just comes to you. It's inspiration. So
yeah, that's true. A lot of the best things happen on accident. It just comes out of nowhere.
You hear a lot of hit songs from the past. A lot of people talk about them. How'd you come up with that song? And they're like, man, I wrote that song in 2 minutes. You know what I mean? It just popped into my head. For real, you hear about it all the time. That song literally just popped into my head, and I wrote it in 2 minutes. You know?
Yeah, and it's in a way, I mean, I feel it's one of those things where you can't say that for everything. Of course, some things break that rule, but that is true that a lot of the best things do feel they come naturally. It's just you're doing it, and for some reason, it's you can just write this one.
No, there are songs that I've spent a long time on. I heard a story about that Outkast song, that Andre 3000 song, Hey Ya.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, he worked on that song for a couple months. You know what I mean? So there are some times where you will really work hard on stuff, and that's what it takes. You know what I mean?
Wow, that song for months.
That's what I heard. Now I'm not I don't think that necessarily means like every single day, all day, every day for 2 months he was working on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he might have wrote something here, added this here, that, you know what I mean, and kind of just kept fucking with it until he got it right. But
wow, that's crazy. That's crazy to think about. I know Kanye is notorious for having like 10 different versions of the same song, and for some reason he's the only person that's allowed to fix. He'll release a song and then he can fix the mix afterwards. Like he'll just, for some reason, he's allowed. No, I can't think of another person that actually does that. I can't think of them. They might exist, but he's the only one that
that's crazy. Because once I put a song out, like it's done. Like so that's why I'll bounce it down. Like because I mix and master most of my own music, but I'll bounce it down 10 different times before I actually put it out. And I'm like, I want to make sure it sounds how I want because I'm like, once it's out, like I can't change it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
exactly. And so it's like, you know, I wonder how much it costs to have that privilege, I guess. Because it's, you know.
Well, and what I hear is, I think I've seen something the other day, is that he works on his song, like he writes whatever, makes the beat, does whatever he does, but then he sends it to like other people and like they add a bunch of shit to it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's probably just one of those things that's normal in pop music where they have like so many different collaborators on one song, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he has that luxury though, you know what I mean? But also he knows that his music is going to go out to a big audience. So he doesn't want a chance just using his ear and his opinion. He wants to, you know, he has access to professionals, obviously. So he's like, hey, I want to utilize this because they might hear something I don't. You know, they might add something that I didn't hear. They might take away something that I liked and thought was good that they don't. And that's even something that I've never had the privilege as much as him as having that many like big time producers and, you know, engineers. But I've had situations where I've had like producers, like a production team and stuff like that. And I kind of miss them days, man, because like I said, I record and mix most of my own music. So I don't make most of my own beats. I'll usually get a beat from somebody, but like pretty much my music, what you hear is just everything that I came up with. And it's good, you know what I mean? It's dope, but I know it could be better if I had other people involved in the process too, like Kanye, you know what I mean? Like people, like a team of people that were like, you know what, let me hear that song. You know what, maybe I could add this to it. Maybe we could put a break here. We could, you know, do whatever. Like, you know, like.
I get exactly what you're saying because it's like the collaboration, like, just for anything, I've learned that collaboration makes a big difference. Like, it's not even just music. It's music is just like a little version of it. But with podcasts, if I did this by myself, it'd be so much harder for people to naturally tune in because it's like, oh, who's this guy? That's the only draw. Whereas if you're pulling random people in for, like, even if you came on 10 times, like, people who like you a lot, they would love to see you over and over talking that much. And so you pull in a different audience from different things. And that wouldn't work if it was just me by myself. And I can't, that's something I literally can't do. But music, it's the same way. It's like you literally can't make a lot of things unless you're working with somebody else. And like a lot of those Kanye songs wouldn't exist if Kanye didn't send it to that other guy.
And it's easier now, I mean, to make music on your own, obviously, because equipment's not super expensive and like there's knowledge out there of how to use it, you know what I mean? So, which is, it's like a gift and a curse. It's a gift because, yeah, like the barrier of entry is pretty low, so anybody can make music, you know what I mean? But then again, it's like, you know, the quality sometimes suffers, you know, because it's like you're like, well, I don't need nobody else on this record. I don't need no one to mix it. I just watch the fucking tutorial on YouTube. I know how to mix my own music, and, you know, sometimes it can suffer. So I'm actually trying to get back to the point of like reaching out to more people and having more hands on my music, just to like expand my horizons and add more elements to it.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at that. Yeah, because you want to make your music something other than. I feel like it's just something that's hard to even figure out yourself, like what you're not seeing. But it is that. It's like you want to see what other people might see in whatever you're doing, because you can't do that by yourself. You just can't. You can't even imagine it. Like, what are they going to hear in this song that I'm not hearing? What's this song missing? Like, what is it?
There's been so many times where, like, I thought something that I did was really good, and then other people like didn't react how I thought they would. Or maybe later on down the road, I listen back to it and I'm like, man, that really wasn't that good. You know what I mean? And then there's also been stuff that I did that I didn't like, and other people heard and was like, man, that's fire, bro. You know? So yeah, it's definitely good to have some other people, but they can't be yes men. And that's the problem with like a lot of people. They'll just have their friends listen to their music. Man, is this fire? And their friend's like a fucking yes man. So they're like, oh yeah, that's dope, bro. That's fire. And then you put it out and like nobody likes it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that kind of goes into what you were saying before about how you need the right people.
Yeah.
You need people who are actually talented and smart individuals who like have their own creative vision, and they're gonna place that on top of what you're doing. Like those are the best people. People who they're thinking different.
Yeah.
If you can find those guys, I mean, and I feel like that's one of those things where I just place shame on myself because I feel like it's like my fault. I can actually reach out to a lot of these people. I know I can. It's probably just simple as emailing people. Probably one of those things. If you want to do that, I mean, because it sounds like it's your goal. That sounds like something I should do as well. Probably all we got to do.
Yeah, there's
is
a few
email
producers right now that I want to work with, man, and really have them like produce my record. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's not hard to reach out to people, but a lot of it is money. Like I know people I can work with for free, but you know, the best people obviously are not going to be free. They're gonna want, they're gonna want to get paid. So
how much do you think? Like, are we talking like 5,000 a song? I'm just shooting like that. To me, that's a high number.
Yeah, I mean, I won't want to say never, but I mean, I'm not really, prepared to pay that much money right now to work on a song with somebody. But
no. But the question is, do you think that's a reasonable number that somebody who's popular, like if you had to pay for them to master or mix and do your whole song?
Yeah, I heard of
5,
a guy,
000?
I can't remember his name, but he mixes and masters, and he's really well known online, and I think he charges like $3,000 or $3,500 to like mix and master a song, you know what I mean?
Oh my God, that's so much.
But a lot of those guys, I mean, they are good at what they do. Don't get me wrong, they are good. But a lot of it is their resume. It's just like a producer.
Yeah.
Like we know producers that can make beats just as good as anything you'll hear on the radio, but they don't have that credibility. They don't have the catalog. They can't say, hey, I produced for, this guy, this side, this person, blah, blah, blah. A lot of the people that are making that kind of money, they can demand that kind of money because they have the resume to prove it. They're like, hey, I've just produced a record for 21 Savage and Drake, and I produced for blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
and it's the same thing with rappers. Like, there's rappers who are fucking fire, man, that can spit, that make great music, and they're not even getting paid for shows. And then there's other rappers that are pretty much garbage that are getting thousands of dollars for shows,
Yeah, because they have the name value or they have whatever that is. Whatever it is
it's just credibility, it's social proof, it's, they have people that co-sign them, you know what I mean? So that's just how the game goes, you can be mad about it, but the way I say is like, if you can't beat them, join them. So instead of complaining about it, like shit, try to get on that level yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's ways to do it in different avenues, in different like facets of life. Whatever it is that you're doing, like you can do it your own way and make it stick out in your own way. Like there's a way to figure that out and make yourself stick out. Like I just believe that everybody can do it.
Yeah, it's just
no matter what it is you're
and,
interested in.
Sometimes it takes money. It's like products. Like if you go to the store, you might buy something and pay an arm and a leg for it, but there might be a better version of that product that's just not a name brand.
Yeah.
It's like even with clothes, you know what I mean? Like what makes this clothing item better than this? There could be 2 t-shirts. They're made of the same exact material. This one says fucking, I don't know, Nike on it or whatever, and this one's just doesn't have a logo, or it says fucking Wrangler or whatever on it. You know what I'm saying? And so you're like, well, I'm going to pay more for the Nike because they're a better brand. But are they? Or are they just more like, they have more people that wear them and more proof? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For me, and I look at it like I'm paying money to do an experiment every time I buy one of those nice pieces of clothing. And if it's nice, if it really is nice, I'll be like, okay, I'll buy another one of these maybe. It's like, okay, that was maybe. Like, it was $70, $100, and I buy it, and it was nice. I'm like, okay. Like, there's some jeans I found out there that are kind of expensive, but they're really nice jeans. They're some of the best jeans I may have ever worn in my life.
Yeah.
And so that makes me question the whole formula, because I agree with you for the most part, but those jeans, they break it. They break the rules.
Yeah,
so
I'm
maybe,
not saying all of them are like, it's all just about the name or whatever, but because some of them have, good materials and stuff like that. But like I'm saying, as far as like just Nike, for instance, like literally, like you could put a Nike T-shirt next to like some off-brand one, and the Nike one will cost way more because they're a more popular brand, you know?
Yeah, they did. I know they've done things like that recently, not even that long ago, where it was they had a store in some city and they
Oh, it
changed.
was Payless.
Yeah, you know what it was. Yeah. What they changed the name to?
Oh, I don't remember what they called it, but yeah, they said like they charged an arm and a leg for like these shoes, and they were really just Payless shoes.
Yeah.
But they made it look and sound like it was fancy, and people were paying like crazy amounts of money. And then at the end, they told everybody like these are just from Payless, you know.
And it just proves the point. It just proves the whole thing. Like people will just buy it because they see it and they're like, okay, yeah.
They're like followers, and they want to look cool and look like they're rich and like they're important. You know what I mean?
Oh, and I don't even know if, well, yeah, that's definitely part of it. But I think it's like even deeper than that. I think it's that like people there's something about like getting the best thing. Like you see that it's the best thing, and even though it's not any better than the other thing, it costs more, so it must be better.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'll tell you, when it comes to illegal activities, if you charge higher prices than other prices for the same substances, you can make a lot more money, even if it's the same exact item. It's easily provable. So it can happen as long as it's the right market. It's all about the market and how much you can overcharge. I feel like that's really what it is, because, you know, I mean, they couldn't have charged 10 times what they did, but that also is nice to know. I mean, hey, you could start up any shop anywhere and just make it. Is that illegal? Is it illegal to do what they did, but actually with a real business? Probably not. Just to start a watch business and charge 10 times over the... Maybe watches is bad. Maybe watches is probably not good.
Well, I think you could charge what you want, but I mean, I don't think you could lie about the name of it or who made it. Like, I think you have to legally be honest at least about, hey, this is made from this, you know, manufacturer or whatever, you know. So I don't know. That's interesting though.
Yeah. What item could you do it with legally?
Apparently just shoes. I don't know.
Shoes. I guess it's legal with shoes for some reason. Yeah.
There's a lot of shit, like even Patron. My sister was telling me, like, Patron, you know, is kind of well known and kind of expensive or whatever, but my sister knows some guy, he's like in the liquor industry, and he was like, Patron's garbage. He's like, it's not even like a high quality tequila, you know what I mean? But he's like, we marketed it, you know, the way we marketed the brand or whatever, like, we did it in a way where we would make people think that this is like fancy, and people don't know the fucking difference unless you're really like a liquor connoisseur and you know about the ins and outs of the whole process. You don't fucking know. You just go to a bar and you're like, hey, you know, this drink is, you know, $7 and this drink is $15. You're like, well, the 15's obviously better, right? You know what I mean? And then you see all these cool people wearing it or drinking it and popping bottles, and so you're like, oh, well, I want that so I can look like I'm somebody special, you know? But it's really some bullshit, man.
I know it's true because I always go to those places and I feel like I don't want to spend that much money, and so I get the cheapest one, and I always feel like, God damn it, I wish I had more money. I would buy the more expensive fucking drink, even though the drink I got could be just fine. Like an $8 drink might be better than the $13 drink. There's no reason it's not.
I'm kind of an in the middle guy, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't really drink the cheapest shit, you know. I used to. Now when I was like a teenager and I was broke, like I used to drink 5 o'clock vodka, you know what I mean? It was like
Dude,
$5 a fifth or some shit. Like, it was so cheap, man.
I started on the same thing. Yeah, that's a bad way to start.
Like, I won't do. I mean, I haven't touched that in years. You know what I
Me
mean?
neither.
I like now. I like Grey Goose, which is like fairly expensive vodka, but it's not crazy expensive.
How much is it?
It's around, I think, maybe $30 a fifth.
That's not bad.
$28-$30. Yeah, so it's not like some crazy. It's not like 100. I was actually at a liquor store recently, man, and I looked up all the way on the top shelf, and I seen this stuff. What was it called? I can't remember what it was called, but it was Scotch, and it was like $2,600 for this fifth, man.
Whoa.
Yeah, and you know and I was thinking, even though I mean nothing's worth $2,600 for a fifth, but I was like, you know what? If I was actually rich, like I didn't give a fuck, like, you know, $3,000 just was nothing. Like, I actually would buy something like that just to fucking drink it and try it. You know what I mean? But I'm sure I would be disappointed. Like, this ain't worth, you know, $2,700 or whatever it was.
Ain't no way.
Yeah, like, come on, man.
Oh my lord, I apologize deeply for that. That was Ruse's fault. But I will say, I mean, I saw a video where it was I think it was Mr. Beast, and they had water. They were drinking like super expensive water, and if I'm correct, it was $100 water. It might have been $1,000. It could have been
Yeah, I heard
$1,000
about
bottle.
that. Yeah, I think I might have seen that video because my son watches that, and so I think I ended up seeing that in a video. Yeah,
Woo,
that's
dude,
crazy, man.
$1,000. That's a lot of money, and even if it's 100, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, for some damn water.
Ain't no way it's that good. It's possible. It's possible it's really good water. When they drank it, they were like, it's just regular water. And as I watched it, I thought in my mind, I remember what I thought. I thought, there's no way they're just not appreciating how good that water is. There's no way. There's no way they can price that water for that price and people actually pay that much. But, with this whole conversation we're having, it's coming to me. They can. It probably is just regular water. Like, they're probably just pricing it that much because of like the way the bottle
what can you
looks
really
and-
do to water? Like, how much stuff can you really do to it? Like, you can add flavoring. Like, there's this water I bought that was like cucumber flavored water, and it tasted really good, but it was only a couple dollars, $2, $3, $4 for a bottle. Like, it wasn't $100. You know what I mean? And that was some of the best tasting water I've ever had. Fiji water.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more expensive than a lot of other waters, but that's good. That's nowhere near $100. You know what I mean? So hell no, I'm not paying fucking $100 for some water. That's crazy.
I can't even buy the Fiji, dude. I'm that bad.
Well, I know, and
even
I
buy
won't
that.
either. Like, I bought it a couple times in my life just to try it, but usually I won't buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 'Cause
In fact, what I've been doing, man, because I was buying, we live in Flint, obviously the water, is what it is. So, I was buying bottled water for the longest time, and I still do. But then I found out at Kroger, you can get a gallon of water. Like, you refill the jugs in there, and it's 39 cents a gallon. Now, it actually just went up to 49 cents, but basically 50 cents a gallon, and it's pure water. It goes through a reverse osmosis machine, and it's good pure water. So, yeah, for 50 cents, you can get some good pure water with no bullcrap in it, man. And I actually, when it was 39 cents, I did the math, and I figured out how much the bottled water costs, like in the cases, versus just getting the refillable water, which is the same damn thing, possibly even better. And I figured out it was like literally a third of the price. So it was 3 times more just to buy the cases of bottled water, which are no better. They're just more convenient because they're in a bottle, you know what I mean? Which really is even worse for the environment because now you got more garbage, you know what I mean? So it's like, so I started, like I said, so I'm like, every time I went there, I would still buy some bottled water because my family liked to have that on hand. It was convenient. But I would buy a bunch of jugs of the refillable water too because it was way cheaper and it's like good quality water.
Yeah. That's probably the best way to do it for sure. What is reverse osmosis? What is the difference?
It's just a machine where they just filter everything out of it. Like any
But
kind
how is that different than like say a Brita water filter that you pour your water through?
Well, that doesn't get everything out of it, man. Like there's still some stuff that's left in it when you do that. But the reverse osmosis, like literally, like I don't know. I mean, I'm not a freaking scientist.
That's what I wonder.
Now, my sister actually has a reverse osmosis machine on her sink, but she also has it set to alkaline, where it alkalines the water. It raises the pH of the water.
Ooh.
And so, yeah, that's really dope, man.
What is the purpose of that? Why would you want to do that?
Well, because they say that cancer can't live in a highly alkaline body. They say the way cancer grows is in an acidic environment. You know what I mean? That's why certain foods that are high in like acid and stuff like that actually they say cause cancer. But I've heard arguments against it. I've heard that yes, that is true that cancer prefers a high alkaline environment, but I've heard that when you drink that alkaline water, the pH, your body naturally balances the pH of the water when it enters your body, so it technically doesn't create a high alkaline environment. So I don't really know, how effective it is, but to me, anything's worth a try when it comes to fighting cancer, man, because that's nothing to fucking play with.
And is this like smart water? Is that alkaline or is that neutral?
I'm not sure. There is alkaline water you can buy. I'm not sure of the name brands, but they usually charge more for it.
I think there's an alkaline smart water.
Yeah, there might be a smart water that is alkaline water.
That's probably what I'm thinking.
But they're more expensive, man. Like, they charge more for that shit.
And you can make it?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, she has a literally installed like on her sink. She has a I think I forgot it's like a 2-gallon or whatever tank, and it just it filters the water and then
cool.
it does whatever it does to raise the pH. You know.
Yeah. Wow. The things, the more you know.
The more you know. We need to put that that graphic. The more you know. You know.
I feel that way a lot of the time about everything. I feel like every day I actually am learning things. There's a lot of things. There's always a lot of things. You never run out of things. That's one thing about the world. It's like you think you know things, and then you learn more things. There's always more things.
You don't know what you don't know until you know it.
Yeah. It's like a natural truth of the universe. It's kind of fun. It can be exhausting, but for the most part, it's fun.
No, I like to learn, man. I never think like, oh, I know it all. Like, you know, I feel like I don't know shit. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I know what I know. I know more than some people, but there's so much knowledge out there. And to me, that's what makes life worth living. It's exciting to me because you're like, wow, what can I learn today? You know what I mean? So, and some of the most successful people, they say like one of their best qualities is that they're curious.
Yeah.
Like when you get around like a successful person, a lot of times they'll be asking you a bunch of questions and you're thinking like, why are you asking me questions? I need to learn from you. You're doing better than me. But they're curious. They want more and more and more. They want to learn, you know.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. You're right. And you know what? Maybe I just haven't met enough, like, truly, like, because I haven't had that a whole lot. I haven't. But I believe that. I believe, like, people who are that deep in it, they are like that. Because that sounds so true. I mean, like, I've seen that to an extent. I feel like I might be exaggerating. I've seen people that are like that, for sure. But I haven't seen anybody that's, like so deep that they're not even wanting to talk about themselves at all. Like if I was asking you questions and you were just throwing it back at me like that would be crazy. But those people. Those people are out there. They're so curious. They're not even interested in talking about their own thing. Like they'll talk about it briefly.
And I like to do that too. I mean, people always ask me questions and stuff, but I like to learn about other people too. You know.
Yeah. Me too. I think that. I heard Maynard James Keenan say it really well. He said that the more you listen, the better it is. I think the way that he put it is, for the most part, I'm paraphrasing, is the more input, the better your output. So the better your input is, the more stuff you get in, the better your output's going to be. Like the more stuff that I'm listening to you say, and just the more that I'm willing to actually hear you and listen to what you're saying is going to make my output better. Just naturally. That's how it goes with everything.
Yeah, they say that if you want to solve a problem, you need to ask better questions.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
because
great.
then you know what direction to go in to fix the problem. And also, I mean, let's be honest, people like talking about themselves, right? That's usually most people's favorite subject is themselves. So when you're asking them questions about themselves, you're making them feel good. They're like, "Oh, I like this. Like I'm talking about myself." So, you know, without that person even revealing anything about themselves or even doing anything, you naturally start to like that person, and all you're doing is talking about yourself. It's kind of like a hack, you know, like a psychology hack, you know.
Yeah, it is for real.
Like in sales, you know, they talk about that. They're like, ask the prospect questions. Like, don't just be like, yeah, my product is so good, you need to buy it. No, ask them questions. So, like, hey, like, what's going on with you? Like, what are your problems right now? What do you need? Like, what are your issues? Like, what could help you right now? And like, well, what do you usually use for this? And what do you usually pay for that? You know, you just ask them questions and they'll pretty much come out and spill the beans. And then at the end, you're like, okay, so you said that, you know, you have this issue, that this could help you, that you really need this. Well, guess what? I got this. And it checks all the boxes. So, like, they pretty much sold the shit for you, you know?
Yeah. Is that how they conventionally do it? Is that it? That makes sense. I mean, I remember seeing the guy who was on the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, Wolf of Wall Street.
Jordan Belfort.
Jordan Belfort. Which he's still got a popular following.
And shout out to my boy Dill, man. He actually made a song called Jordan Belfort that went viral and got like a record deal and everything, man. Yeah, it's a hit song, so shout out to him. But yeah.
What's his name again?
His name's Dill, Famous Dill.
Famous Dill.
He's because you know I'm into the music NFTs and stuff. He's really big in that. He's like the guy that kind of put me on, that like started like working with me and helping me out with all that stuff. But yeah, he made a song before all the NFT shit called Jordan Belfort, and it ended up getting millions of views on SoundCloud, and like shot a video and all kinds of cool shit. But yeah, that guy, man, he's a hell of a salesman.
Jordan Belfort.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was gonna say that I remember seeing him talking about selling things, and he was saying that if you're trying to sell something, you have to make sure, like, the thing that's the most important is, because he had the whole thing where it was like, sell me this pen. Is that what it was? That was the premise. So it's like I said to you, I hold over this pen right here, and I say, sell me this pen. And then you look at the pen, and you have to follow up with your best sale on the pen. And the whole idea is that if you're not trying to establish originally that, like, I want the pen, then there's no reason to even do the sale, because you have to make sure at first that I want it. You can't say, like, oh, this is the best pen in the world, it's the coolest pen in the world, like, tell me all the reasons the pen's great, because I don't give a fuck how great the pen is. It doesn't matter to me.
You don't need one.
I don't need one. But if, like you said, the way that you just said it, if you're getting all their reasons, you're getting, like, what they need, why they need it, all that, and then you're telling them, oh, well, look, I got the answer to your question.
It's like a no-brainer, you know?
Yeah, which is the best way to do it. That's the answer to sales, is you're filling in the blank that they need to fill in. But that's, it's hard. I imagine it's pretty hard to be a pen salesman. Pretty hard to sell those pens.
I wouldn't want to sell pens for a living. That'd be pretty hard. And plus, like, how much can you even sell a pen for? A couple dollars, you know what I mean? Like, how much profit are you going to make?
Dude. That's what I thought. And then my phone randomly recommended me, like, the subreddit for special ballpoint pens. And there's some, like, $500 pens.
Wow.
And those are, like, probably, I can't even imagine those are the best ones. Like, if you want a good pen, it's probably $1,000, maybe $1,200. And we're talking just, like, a great ink pen. Like, beautiful, perfect, pristine. Like, probably one that has, like, it's like a nice antique car. You got a bunch of random things you have to worry about that you don't have to with the normal pen. I'm telling you, like, those subreddits blew my mind, because I was like, wow, pens go that deep. Like, just pens.
We got to up our game up. We got to up our pen game, man.
Man, we got to up our pen game. Literally, because I'm talking, like, if I was writing my raps with a $300 pen, that would make my raps probably better. That probably literally would. It probably would. Just the feeling of knowing, like, yo, this pen is a $300 pen.
We should do that, man. We should do an experiment like that where we're like, you know what? We just got these pens. They're $300. We're gonna write a song and see how it sounds. You know what I mean? And then like come out with it and see if it's better than our other stuff.
I like that. I'm kind of willing to invest in that. Not even just because it sounds like a fun man. Oh my God, my phone's hitting us hard. You know why? It's like the universe getting me back for not muting it originally.
It's an alert about that pen. It hurt us, man. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
You may be interested in.
I open my phone. It's like Google's selling me pens right now. Pulling a Jordan Belfort on me as I look at my phone. But anyway, that's not just because it sounds like a great video, but because I kind of just want one of those pens. I want to know what it's like to have a $300 pen. Like, that's kind of like on my bucket list almost.
Yeah,
like, now
you'll
that I know
probably never
exist,
go back to like a Bic or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the thing. What if they're that good? What if they are that good? Because we had this whole conversation about, like, you can just price anything anyway. But I don't know, man. A $300 pen, and they got subreddits about these. Like, you can look at reviews. You can look at people saying, like, yo, this pen's where it's at. It's like the $400 one they're talking about.
I'm gonna have to look into that. It's kind of interesting, man.
A lot of things are that way. That's kind of what I've learned. That's the thing. It's like there's so many other things. Like I was saying, everything's that way. If you look that deep into it, there's better things.
Well,
better
even like I was saying with the liquor, like now, like I'll drink Grey Goose, which isn't, you know, it's not the equivalent of a $300 pen. It's not that damn expensive, but it's, you know, 3 times the cost of 5 o'clock vodka. But like, after drinking that, I'll never go back to 5 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like,
man, 5 o'clock was what I was drinking for a long time. It's so crazy to think about that, because now it tastes like poison to me. If you gave me 5
drunks will do shit like that. Like, it's like people that smoke, like they don't have a lot of money, like they'll buy roll-up cigarettes because they don't really care about necessarily the flavor or whatever. Like, they just need the tobacco and the feeling, and you know what I mean? So
I know exactly what you
mean. They
would
rather have more bang for their buck. Like, I know this older lady, man, that drinks what the fuck is it called? Sobieski vodka, and that stuff's pretty cheap too. But
how much is it? Do you know? I think I know what you're talking about. Is it like a yellow text?
Yeah, I can't remember how much it is. Maybe between $14, maybe 15 at the most.
That's not too bad.
It's not that, but it's not dirt cheap. But it's not. I can't remember the cost of it. It might be less than that.
Is it good or bad?
Google it.
Man, I wish I had a guy.
I don't think it's that good. It's like I think it's like Polish vodka or something like that.
Polish vodka.
Yeah, it's called Sobieski.
I'm gonna Google it. I am gonna Google it. I'm actually, that's what I'm writing over here, is I'm doing a tally of all the times it would be nice to have a guy that was over there looking up things.
Like Joe Rogan, he's like, yeah, Jamie, pull up this, and then the guy's like, Sobieski's $12.99 a fifth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I had it occur to me as we were talking. Like I was thinking about this the other day. Like I was just thinking about it realistically. Like I've had people offer this to me, and I just never take it seriously because it's a whole arrangement thing. I have to arrange for you to be here and actually do the podcast when I'm doing the podcast. Like, when you and I just arranged this, it was as simple as, hey, are you available this day? Yes, I am. Let's do it this day.
Right.
Sweet.
You didn't have time to, let me reach out to my assistant and then make sure he can be here at that time. You know?
Exactly. And so that's just a whole hurdle that I don't want to throw into things. And I do it fine myself, but I was thinking about it the other day. I'm thinking realistically, okay, there are a lot of times that, like, it would have been nice to just have someone over there go, bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
And they would just say it, and it'd be like, oh. Because I was watching Joe Rogan, I was like, dude, that's why Joe Rogan knows so much stuff. He's literally sitting there with a guy that's, like, looking up his every thought. Like, imagine having that on a daily basis, just talking. Just think about things, and there's a guy that's looking up everything you're thinking.
Right.
Like,
yeah, because
you
think
would
about
get really
how much,
smart.
because think about how much like we come up with stuff or think of something, but we're like, well, I don't feel like grab my phone and look it up right now, or I don't have time to really read a whole article or whatever, you know. But you can literally just be like, you know, like ring your fucking bell, like you got to serve it, you know what I mean? Ding, ding, ding. Like, hey, look up the price of this liquor, you know.
Yeah, and it's like that's their whole thing is they're just there to do that. And man, like that would be I was underrating the value of that. I thought that would not help that much. But if they literally are there to find what that is for us, I'm not breaking my thought process like I am right now as I'm scrolling through my phone trying to find it. And they're the one that's doing that. Is it spelled Sobieski, like B-I-E?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I wasn't finding it. And then it's still kind of... Oh, there it is. I typed in Sobieski water. See, this is the problem. This is why you can't have me looking it up.
Damn,
I'm distracted. I'm thinking about water. Like because we had that whole conversation about water. Yeah, we need a whole other guy doing this, I'm telling you. Sorry, Sobieski vodka. There we go. That's what it is. And it looks... I like the bottle. The bottle looks nice. There's different bottles, it looks like. The bigger one, maybe, I don't know which one's the real one. I've seen different ones. But,
it's got a red label.
What am I looking up for? Like,
I don't know,
price?
a fifth? Yeah,
because I see $13 for this one here.
Yeah, so that's about right then.
And I'm just trying to
see. I knew
see
it was
how
like
big
between 12 and 15.
Oh.
So it's not, you know, the cheapest shit, but it's definitely not no high price shit either. It's not top shelf, but like I said, this lady that I know, like she drinks that stuff every day, but she drinks every day. So I mean, she couldn't afford to drink Grey Goose every day. You know what I mean?
How much is a liter? Is a liter a fifth?
A liter? Well, 750 milliliters is a fifth, so a liter would be more, right?
Because that's what I'm saying. It was a liter.
Because a liter would be 1,000 milliliters, right?
I don't know. I don't know how much is in a fifth. How many liters are in a fifth?
750 milliliters.
Oh.
So that would be like...
It's a little more than a liter then. Or it's a little more than a fifth, I mean to say. So I don't know what that you'd call it. It said a liter. That's what it said. I said a liter for the $13. Maybe it's a weird size.
I think that's about the price of what a fifth would be of it.
Okay. But yeah, $13 either way. What was your question to me? I didn't mean to interrupt. You asked me something right when I said that. Something about Grey Goose, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I was just saying, like, somebody that's like an alcoholic like that doesn't necessarily have a lot of money, they really can't afford to drink Grey Goose every day. They could spend, you know, $13 and get the same effect they're going to get for $30. So it's like, you know, they're paying literally half, you know.
Yeah, and I feel like when you're that guy who's not trying to spend money. I've been that guy. I've been that guy many times in my life. Currently, I'm still that guy in a lot of situations where I'm the guy who's like, I'd love to tip more, I'd love to spend more, I'd love to do this and this while I'm here, but I know deep down I'm not that guy. I can't be doing this. Like I have to have self-control. I have to not spend. I can only spend like $60 this day while I'm in this place. Is what I'm saying. Now I can't spend $200 while I'm here. I have to spend $60. I'm here for 4 days. $60, 4 days. I can do that, but it's like, you know. that's a hard thing to do when you want to,
Yeah, I try to find a balance of like treating myself, but also not like overextending myself either,
Yeah, you can't treat. But that's the thing, you can't treat yourself every day. But when you are treating yourself, it's hard to have those limits because you can't treat yourself every day. You can't do it. You wanna treat yourself properly, and so
treat yourself, don't cheat yourself.
Yeah, hey, that's great. That could be the name of our song, of our whole thing that we write
with the pen. Yeah. There we go. We're already
yourself,
getting ideas.
Don't cheat yourself. That's pretty good. That has a ring to it. It's got a good message. That could go deep.
It's positive.
It makes a lot of sense the more you think about it. Treat yourself, don't treat yourself, folks. That could be the moral of the podcast. That could be like the name right there. We might have just discovered the title because that's actually that's like, to me, that's clickbaity enough. Like someone would see that as a title of a podcast. Like I'd throw Freestyle Rap probably after that. I'd throw treat yourself, don't cheat yourself, Freestyle Rap, and they'd be like, "What? What is this?" Like, I don't know if there's anything better than that.
If you can't get laid, then beat yourself.
That's a good one. I'll consider that.
Yeah.
Me and my team will consider.
Like that took a turn for the worse.
I don't know if YouTube's algorithm's going to favor it is the problem. There's a lot of things that could go on YouTube that just can't go there just anymore. YouTube, the internet in general, is a different place than it used to be. Like somebody's got to say it, man. Like 4chan, when I was a kid, I was going on 4chan. I've seen videos that address this. I don't know about you if you ever had this happen, but when you were going and watching videos that a kid should never see, videos of like murders that are going on in other countries, videos of like the first one that I think was really big on the internet was rotten.org, if you're familiar with that. I think it's rotten.org.
I thought it was rotten.com, but
you might have it right, rotten.com, but there was a big one that was like all about just the goriest things you could possibly see on the internet, and it was all real. That was the idea. And then beyond that, it became LiveLeak. LiveLeak became pretty big. And then after that, I don't think there's... LiveLeak just recently, I think it was within this last year, they stopped being the LiveLeak that they've always been. That probably happened over the last few years, and I just wasn't keeping track of it because I don't care anymore. Right. But I'm pretty sure that they slowly like fizzled out, and then they announced something recently, like, oh, we're not going to post anything like... I can't remember what it was. I'm going to write this in my tally of all the times I need someone to look things up.
Yeah.
Because they would have looked this up for me right there. But I can't remember what they said, but it was like LiveLeak made an announcement, and they were saying, like, hey, we can't post this type of stuff anymore. We can't make this type of content, which is just like, you're admitting it. You're admitting you're not cool anymore. You're not the LiveLeak you used to be. But anyway, that's not the point of what I'm saying. I'm just saying that when I was growing up, I saw some crazy stuff on that internet because it was a whole different world back then. It was completely different. Like, I saw, and I don't even know, it's hard for me to weigh it out in my head. Like, was that something I should have seen? But, like, Two Guys, One Hammer, that's a big one.
Oh, gee.
Did you ever see that?
No.
Oh, it's pretty bad.
It sounds like Two Girls, One Cup or whatever it is.
I did see that, too. And what's crazy is I remember I saw that and I thought, I should show this to my dad as a prank. Like, I should pull this up and tell him to show him something else and just show him this. And that was such a bad idea. I'm glad I didn't. Honestly, and part of my brain's like, I should have done it. I should have done it just to see what could have happened. Like, that could have been, what would he have done? Maybe he would have had the funniest reaction. So, but I didn't do it. I didn't. And it was a crazy video, but... there's the world's a crazy place, and I feel like that's what it trained me for, seeing all these things. And I don't know. I feel like the argument against that is it desensitizes you.
Yeah.
You didn't have any of this. You didn't watch any of these videos. I'm assuming you didn't go through this while.
Well, when I was a kid, man, we had Faces of Death. You know what that was?
Oh, I've heard about it.
So yeah, we had you had to go to like the movie store and like rent these videos, and they would show like crazy shit that happened from around the world, like people dying and people jumping off buildings and just really like gory stuff, you know what I mean? And so that was like really like racy and like, you know what I mean, like edgy.
Yeah, how much did you have to be to get it? Was it 18?
You probably did, but we found a way to do it. I don't know how we did it, but I remember renting them a couple times and had friends that had them and stuff like that. And
the only thing I know from those is that I know they ate the head of a monkey. I know they ate the head of a monkey. There was one like that. Yeah, they were. I think they were like eating monkey brains and stuff. And like there's one where there was a guy. He was like, I don't know. He was like some city official or somebody, but he like got up in like this meeting and like. He's like started making a commotion and he pulled out a gun and they're like, no, they started screaming and he like shot himself and instantly like fell down and blood's like leaking everywhere. And
Then I remember there was like this one where this person like jumped out in front of a train and you could like see it splatter on the camera. And I mean, people jumping off buildings and just. Then there was also the one where the guy had elephantitis. He had like these giant balls. I mean, they were just like literally like a big ass like beach ball, or you know what I mean. It was like these just giant, like this giant ass nutsack, man. So it was crazy, man. But
was it real? That was 100% real.
It was real.
Elephantitis. That's what that's called.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
But
that's real.
Nothing's surprises me anymore. Like I could look up that kind of shit all day. I don't even care about it. Like I don't even want to see it anymore. It's like I feel like I've already seen it.
That's so but you did see all that back then. So I feel like that's usually what happens to. Because that's what happened to me too. I feel like that's what happens to a lot of kids who have that phase. It's like you saw all of it. So like now at this age, once you're past that phase where you were a kid and you like had this rebellious urge in you, like I want to see the worst thing in the world. I want to see the worst thing. I want to see the absolute worst thing I could possibly see. Because it's available, so why not? You're a kid and you're thinking like there's a whole world out there. I want to see the worst possible stuff there is. And you must be right. That's probably the original. That's the OG. That goes beyond rotten.com. That's it. It's those tapes.
Yeah, Faces of Death.
Faces of Death. And I've only seen clips of it on YouTube. That's how I think it's kind of hard to find now. Maybe not. Maybe it's not as rare as I think it is. But I know I've tried to find it on YouTube, and you can find certain clips. But if it's what you're saying it is, if it's what you just told me, I haven't seen any of that. So I don't know if that's like...
Those are the ones that stick out. I've seen a lot of them, but like those are the ones. I remember the guy that like shot himself in the head, and then I remember like the elephantitis and people jumping off buildings and shit catching on fire in the train, and like there's a lot of different ones. Like you said, the monkey brains one.
That's a lot. It's a lot. And like as a kid, I didn't realize. I think the other part of it is like if you have that phase as a kid, you don't realize how much that is. You just don't know. You don't have a sense of like what you're actually seeing. And so like for me, when I was seeing all that stuff as a kid, I was just like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna look at this. Like now when I see that type of stuff, I'm mortified in a way.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, get that away from me. I don't even want to
see it. It makes me uncomfortable,
yeah. That's Satan. Keep that Satan away from me.
Right. Not today, Satan.
It hurts. It hurts. And so it's like, I would only watch something like that if I had to. But I don't know. There are some things that maybe I'll watch again just for old time's sake. Pain Olympics. You ever see that one? BME Pain Olympics?
That was a big one. Of it, yeah.
Have you seen it, though? We're definitely not pulling it up.
Yeah, don't pull it up.
No.
Where they like fucking stick like knives through people's nipples and try to like pull them and shit.
You're close. You're very close. The Pain Olympics, the BME Pain Olympics. Maybe there's different versions because I think there was a number after it, but maybe not. But they're chopping apart some genitalia, and it's only male genitalia, and they're just doing it in different ways. And I don't know if it's real or not. I still am not sure.
Like people sign up for this, like they want to prove how much pain they can take.
Maybe if it's real, if it's not fake. If it's real, that's what they're doing. They're like, you know what? I live one life. Screw it. Like I'm giving it to the internet. And you know what? Like that sounds crazy. That sounds unbelievable, but the more I think about it, that is something that people might do. People are that crazy. There is someone that's that crazy that if you convince them, if you paid them enough money or you just give them a reason to do it, they might do that. So
no, because I was even thinking that the other day, like I was watching like a rerun of like Maury, and I was like thinking like, why the fuck would somebody go on a show like this and just humiliate themselves like in front of the world? And it's like they never run out of volunteers. There's so many people that will go on Jerry Springer and Maury and like just humiliate themselves and put all their business out there. It's like some people, maybe they feel like, hey, like I don't have a special talent. I'm never going to be famous for anything cool. So like this is my, 15 minutes of fame or whatever. But it's just weird, man.
There's no like... I just feel like they know. There's got to be self-awareness. Like they know that even in that 15 minutes of fame, like the context of that 15 minutes of fame is not the context of other 15 minutes of fame. Like you're on Jerry Springer.
Yeah, you're humiliating yourself. You're getting laughed at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you're the punch of the joke. You're the reason people are laughing, and it's just like, do you want to be that? Is that worth it? Is it? What's the price? What's the price for that? The attention is I guess it's just the attention. That's what you get paid in. It's the people.
And that shit's forever. You know what I mean?
Like, and it's forever. Yeah.
Once
like
people see it, they know you and all your friends and family, wherever you grow up, they know of you as the guy that went on Jerry Springer or went on Maury, and you know what I mean? Like,
I can only imagine. That's a great point, because like you can only imagine being the person that was on Jerry Springer. Like You see those people on that show, and you think, "Oh, that's
R.I.P. to
wild."
Jerry, by the way.
R.I.P. Jerry
R.I.P.
for
Jerry
real.
Springer.
Yeah, he's in the atmosphere. He's in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
We don't normally talk about Jerry.
He's talking to us from above.
He came in the conversation just from above. What's up, Jerry?
Gone
R.I.P.
but never forgotten.
Never forget. He had a gift for bringing people together in such a way that no one else could. I really believe that. I mean, no one can argue with that fact.
Yeah.
He brought people together in a way that no other human was capable of doing. Like, he had a certain way about it. And that's what we're talking about. So I feel like the people who go on Jerry Springer, like, if you're on Jerry Springer, I always think about it as like, oh, that's crazy. Like, you're watching the episode, like, that's wild. Whatever the story is, that's wild. And you don't really think about, like, they have a whole life to live outside of this, after this episode.
Yeah.
There's an actual person in there that was on stage, and that's a real situation. And for the next 40, 50 years, they're living through the whole,
And I
whatever
know
that
a guy
relationship
that was
was,
on
it's
Maury.
gone. That relationship's over.
No, I know a guy that was on Maury because he wanted the DNA test for his kid, and he found out it was his kid. You know what I mean?
No way, you know a guy.
Yeah, I know a guy, but he's a fucking loser. I'm not friends with him anymore, man. He's a piece of shit, to be honest with you. But I'm not saying everybody that goes on there is a piece of crap, but he is. Like,
Yeah.
he's a prime example of the type of person that would go on there. And it's like, as far as I know, like, you don't get paid to be on there. Like, they pay for, like, your travel and like all that and like your DNA test. Because actually, when I used to drive a taxi cab too, and sometimes I would transport people to the clinic so they could get their DNA test for the Maury show. So I've actually met people who were like, yeah, I'm going to be on Maury. And it's like, dude, you can probably go get a DNA test for free, especially if you have like, a court order or something like that. Like, they'll probably, like, you don't need to go on national TV to prove a kid's yours or isn't yours. Like, why would you do that to yourself and to your kid? Like, think about a kid that grows up and like sees his parents on Maury. Like, oh, Dad, like you denied me. Like, you didn't even think I was yours. You know what I mean? Like, how would that make you feel as a kid? You know what I mean? Like, oh, my dad didn't even think I was his. He went on TV and like tried to deny me.
It's not wrong to know, but that's the wrong way to find out.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. To get a DNA test is fine. Like, I encourage guys to do that. In fact, I just seen a stat the other day. What was it? I think it was 10% of all men are raising kids that aren't theirs, that they think is really theirs, that's not. Because a lot of people don't get a DNA test, right? Like, why would you? Especially if you're with the person, you know what I mean?
What's the number you said? How many out of
I think
how
it
many?
was 10%.
That sounds reasonable. I'm going to tally that, too, because that's something we could look up. I mean, we
look
don't
that
really
up.
need to. I believe it. 10% sounds
Yeah.
good. That sounds like it makes sense, because, like, you never know. I mean, anything can happen to anybody. It could be any situation ever, and we're talking about babies being
women
born.
cheat better than men. Like, that's the men we're like dumbasses. Like, we get caught and telling ourselves, women, you could think, oh, I got this good fucking honest loyal woman, and the whole time she's banging the fucking gardener or banging fucking, fucking Chad or whatever while you're at work. You know what I mean? You don't know, and she'll never tell you. She'll act exactly the same, and you'll never know.
So, okay.
And by the way, I'm not saying all women are like this. I know there's loyal women. I'm just saying that, well, obviously, if you're raising a kid that's not yours, then the woman had sex with another man, obviously,
Yeah, and it's got to happen.
If 10% of guys are doing that, then, are in that situation, then obviously there's women who are banging other guys, getting knocked up by them, and then telling the guy they're with that it's theirs.
You know what I read? There's a study that the amount of men that are in a relationship is disproportionate to the amount of women that are in relationships. Like, there's way more women that are in a relationship than men that are in a relationship. And to me, the only way to make that study make sense is that it's got to be that women just think they're in the relationship and men don't think they're in the relationship. Because there's no way. There's no way to make that make sense.
Yeah, because mathematically it seems like it would be like...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, unless it's like you're factoring in like lesbian relationships, you know what I mean? Then
hold on, pause on lesbians. I'm gonna go pee real quick. You were saying Atlanta. You want to go to Atlanta? You didn't go to Atlanta.
Yeah, when I was in my mid-20s, my aunt lives in Atlanta, and that's when the Atlanta music scene was really popping. And she told me, man, come down here. She's like, you can live with me. I'll take you around to some record labels. I'll help you, help you out with your career. And I didn't do it, man, and I always regretted it. And the reason I didn't do it was because I had a record deal up here with the independent record label, and so I felt like, well, hey, I want to be loyal to them. I don't just want to go off and like do my own thing. But in retrospect, man, that would have been a great decision because I know people that stayed down there that actually did a lot of cool stuff in the music industry. And the thing is, even if I would have moved down there and nothing happened, right? I didn't get a deal and nothing happened with my career, at least I would know. You know what I'm saying? At least now I would be able to say, hey, at least I tried. So that's why I was telling you, you know, if you want to move to Chicago, man, go for it. Like, do it. What's the worst that can happen? Nothing. You know what I mean? You go there and you don't succeed or whatever, but at least you have some stories.
Yeah, and the way you just described it perfectly described my reasoning too, because I'm thinking to myself, oh, well, if I don't do this, I'm going to sit here and regret the fact that I never did it and the fact that I always just had the thought in my mind, oh, I want to do this, and then I never did it. And I know in my heart I always wanted to do it, but I never did it. And that was just like one of like those, it's like you're denying the truth that the universe was trying to give to you. Like the universe is trying to tell you something and you just ignore it.
Yeah, there's a reason
that
you're drawn to that, man.
Exactly. And so I feel like it's one of those things where it's like if I didn't do it, I know in my heart I'm going to regret the fact that I never found out whether or not I would even like it or not. Because if I don't like it, like you said,
you can come back.
Yeah,
like,
it's get some stories.
You didn't really lose nothing. You know what I mean?
Which is fine, and I would need that to find out. I would know that I did it and to feel better.
That's the only way to know. You know, you can speculate or whatever all you want, but
life is all about fucking around and finding out.
The more you fuck around, the more you find out, man.
It's like an equation. It's really true. It's really true. And the more you live, the more you find that out. I really believe that too. Like the more you live, the more you fuck around, the more you find out. Like it's all of that. Like you just naturally fuck around as you're living and you find out more shit. I mean,
and if you look at studies done like from old people, like they always regret, like people on their deathbed, they never regret the things that they did. They regret the things that they didn't do.
Right.
And they always say, I wish I would have traveled more. That's one of the big, huge regrets that people have. So
yeah, and that's the thing I was thinking about too, is like, you know, a lot of people in my family, they haven't really traveled and gone, maybe with a couple exceptions. Most people in my family have stayed right nearby, and I'm talking about like maybe about 5 to 8 people, maybe 10, but about 5 to 8, I think. So not too many people, but like a family. And like I feel like that's a small example, but most families are probably like that, where it's like most families don't really move far away. They all stay within the coop,
right.
Like wherever they are at, that's kind of home base. You grow up there, you get used to whatever customs that culture has, down to like the little things, because you don't realize how much of a culture your neighborhood has until you go somewhere else, and it's a whole different thing. It's kind of one of the things that draws me to a place like Chicago, is I'm there and I'm like, whoa, this is a whole different fucking thing than my house. Where I'm at in Flint, people ain't like, this, what the fuck's going on here? This is a whole different operation.
No, you get a way more broader understanding of the world, and you get out of your bubble, and you're like, oh, like things ain't all like just the way they are here. Like there's people that do things differently, talk differently, think differently. You know what I mean?
And that's the travel thing. That's why people regret it, because they feel like, I feel like when you're on your deathbed, I feel like that's a big thing. It's like you're just thinking, man, there's such a big world out there,
and it's too late by then. You know what I mean? You can't. So do it now while you're young, man. Go for it.
And the while you're young thing was the thing, because I brought this up right before we started recording, but that was the reason I brought it up, is because I get that advice a lot too. It's like I feel like that's why I need to do it, because I hear people say like, man, you're young, you're not that old, and like I think about that more and more all the time. Like they're really right. If I was 35 or 40, no offense to anybody who's that old or older, it's just like if I was that old and I was going to do that, it would be a lot different of an experience than me being the 25. I feel like even at 20, the fact that I'm turning 25 at the end of this month blows my mind. Like I'm already way older than I feel like I am, and I'm just understanding more and more how time goes by. It goes by real quick. I'm 25 and I feel like I'm 21.
Don't keep putting it off, man. Don't keep kicking the can down the road, as they say. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go someday. Because then eventually years go by. Someday turns into never, and it's like, you might have intentions on really doing it, but who knows what happens. Let's say you end up having a kid, or let's say like a medical condition, or anything can happen that's going to interfere with it. And then you're like, well, shit, and I can't go now. So do it while you can. That's
great advice, because like I've told you, and I might as well just say it. August 1st is the date that I'm trying to do. But like, to me, That could even be me pushing it a little farther just because I want to have more savings. I want to be a little more prepared, this and that. I could do it. I could do it next week. I could literally, if I wanted to, I could be out of here next week if I really wanted.
I think that's reasonable because at least you have a date. Most people don't even have a date. Yeah. They just say someday. Well, guess what? Someday is not a date. Someday is not a real time. You know what I mean? At least you have an official day. Hey, I'm August 1st, I'm moving, so...
Yeah, it's kind of scary to have a real day. I haven't really done that with a lot of things. I put it on a calendar and I'm looking at the amount of days because that's probably the biggest thing I've ever thought about doing. That's kind of part of why I want to do it. It's a big thing. I got to do it. I got to see how the world is. When I'm on my deathbed, I don't want to worry about how I didn't travel. All these things.
And the only way to defeat fear is to run straight through it. If you never face your fear, you're always going to have that fear. Like I was always kind of afraid of snakes. You know what I mean? Like. Big snakes. Like when I was a kid, I remember I used to catch garter snakes or whatever, and like that wasn't a big deal. But my sister has a python, and she would pick it up and wrap it around her, and I was always like really terrified of it. So a while back, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna face this fear of mine because I know it's not a big deal. So I went to her house one day and was like, hey, I want to hold your snake. And I was a little nervous, I ain't gonna lie, but once I held it, I'm like, this ain't no big deal. Like, it's a snake, you know what I mean?
It's just a snake, yeah.
It's not trying to hurt me. It couldn't eat me if it tried. No, it could strangle me, but it's not gonna eat me because I'm too fucking big,
Yeah.
So,
And what happened? Did you just hold it and then you put it down? And
I held it and kind of like wrapped it around like my shoulders a little bit and stuff, and then just, gave it to her and whatever, but it wasn't a big deal, you know what I mean? Like, and there's people in like other countries where they got bugs and big ass spiders and all kinds of stuff, and like shit, half the time they're eating them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know exactly what you're saying. I can't imagine. I mean, the bug thing is what gets me. I've said this on many times. I've said this on many times. I've said this many times. I don't know if I've said it on many podcasts ever on record, but I will say it now. So this is the first time the public's gonna hear it. Ruse will never eat a bug.
Wow.
I'll say it right here. Breaking news. I'm not gonna eat a bug. Not gonna do it. That's the one thing. Or like when I'm at Japanese restaurants and you see, or Japanese buffet. Like I'm at Hibachi. Hibachi's a place. I don't know if Hibachi's like a big operation anywhere around outside of this general area. Like maybe only the people around here know what hibachi is. I think that's probably what. So let's just say Japanese buffet. I'm at the Japanese buffet.
No, hibachi's a popular term. I mean, people know what that is. Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm learning because I didn't. I'm gonna mark this on the tally. This is when we needed a guy to tell me what hibachi means.
I think that's like the style of cooking that they do.
Okay, when they just like cook it fresh in front of you or whatever that is. Okay, but hibachi buffet. Well, there you go. So they cook it fresh. But I was at the hibachi buffet. I can say this right, man. I'm stuttering. I feel like I'm on that Adam Sandler movie. What is it? What's that Adam Sandler movie? Billy Madison?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen that in a while.
Today, Junior.
Yeah. But anyway, you're there. You're at the buffet, and I'm telling you, man, the sushi's great. But right next to it is that shit that looks like a straight-up crustacean. Looks like they pulled it straight out the ocean.
Yeah, I never eat that.
Whew. How do you eat that? How do you put that in your mouth? Like when someone does that, it blows my mind. I almost don't want to look. It's like watching a horror movie. I'm like, what are you doing? Stop. It's hard for me to look at.
No, I did eat a worm once when I was a kid. Just because it was like I didn't want to. It was gross, but I was like, I'm gonna do this. And when you do stuff like that, it's like you gain confidence. Like I know it's kind of gross, but like you for real, like you gain confidence because you face your fear. You know what I mean?
So maybe that's why cultures do it. Maybe that's why cultures like really like to do stuff.
Well, there's some like I seen this tribe in Africa that eats bugs because they're actually really good for you. Like bugs have protein and stuff in them. Like they have nutrients and shit that you need. So
I wonder how many ants it would take to match like a small bag of peanuts.
Probably a lot. But no, a lot of tribes and stuff like that, like they eat, that's what they normally eat,
Yeah.
And I was even watching, somebody was talking about, I think it was Liver King, actually. He was talking about some tribe that when they go hunt animals, like he said, like the meat is actually like the muscle meat is actually like they give that to their dogs and shit. He said they go more for the organs. Like those are the coveted pieces of food that they eat. Like they eat the liver and the heart and the kidneys and shit. Like that's like a delicacy to them. Like that's what they really want. But to us thinking about that, we're like, man, I ain't trying to eat no damn heart or no kidneys. It sounds gross.
The heart is what gets me. The kidneys maybe. if I was like, a wild animal, or if I'm just like, a wild tribe, and I don't know much about what holds any value, but the heart, like I feel like every culture kind of knows to some extent, like the heart is the center of the soul. Like
Yeah,
something
that's
about the
your
heart.
life,
Yeah. So I've eaten heart once in my life. I admit it. I was younger. I was a younger man, and I didn't really think about what I was doing deeply. I think I was about, I want to say like 8th grade, maybe 9th grade, maybe. My stepdad brought home deer heart, and he's like, hey, does anybody want to eat this? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try deer heart. I'm going to do it. And I just ate some, and I don't know. I can't even really remember what it tasted like. And I didn't eat a whole bunch of it. I don't think I ate the whole thing. But yeah, it was just kind of
rest in peace, Bambi.
Yeah. I didn't really, but point of the story, I suppose, is that it wasn't a remarkable experience, so I don't even understand the appeal. There must be some weird tribal feeling of eating a heart. It must
And
be
I
something.
don't necessarily think it's about the taste. I think it's just about the nutrition, because that's like, I've actually been eating liver now for a while. Now, when I was a kid, I hated liver. I would never eat it, but in the last year or so, I've been eating liver usually a couple times a week, and it's loaded with nutrients. I mean, it's really good for you. Now, the taste, I still don't like the taste of it very much, to be honest with you, but I know how good it is for me, so I eat it. And so I would eat heart. You know what I mean? I would even eat some balls. You know what I'm saying? For real, I would eat some testicles, man, because they're really good for you.
And you can. And you can.
Rocky Mountain oysters.
Nobody's stopping you.
No, I'm gonna eat some balls. You heard it here, guys.
Well, I mean, I wonder what the nearest place is that you could eat balls. It's kind of
So
hard to
I know
look
there's
up.
that place. Is it Oscar and Joey's Roadhouse? I think it's called. It's out in Birch Run.
Not far.
Yeah, they have like wild game there. And I heard that they have that there. I've never actually been to that place. Matter of fact, that's another place I've been saying I'm going to go to for years and just never did. Because usually when I'm in Birch Run, I go to Uno's. That's my favorite pizza place. They got the Chicago-style pizza there.
Oh, is it authentic Chicago style?
It's the real thick, like pie kind of pizza.
Oh.
It's amazing, man. And
people say they have deep dish around here, and it blows my mind because you get it and it's not at all.
I think they actually have Uno's in Chicago. Also,
Okay.
yeah, but
That
no,
might be why.
it's the real deal. Shit, we'll go there one day. We'll go there, then we'll go to the movies, and then we'll go to the fuck. You know what? We'll go eat some balls first. That's what we'll do. Balls first. You know what I mean? Business before pleasure.
Hey, man, I never said I wanted to eat
no,
balls.
No, you're in on this, bro. Fuck it. So we're gonna go eat some balls at Oscar and Joey's or whatever it's called. Then we'll go to the movie theater because it's right up the road from there. We'll go watch a movie there, and then after that, we'll be hungry again. So we'll go to Uno's and eat some pizza. Chicago pizza, man. So we'll eat some balls and then we'll wash it down with some pizza, man. How does it sound?
There's nothing I would want to do more after I eat some balls.
What better way to bond with your homeboy than to eat some balls together? You know what I mean?
I agree. I actually, you know what? I relate to that on a personal level. I'm glad you put it in that way. That really means a lot to me. Because when you put it like that, bro, I really get it.
How could you say no?
How could I say no? Exactly. I want to eat some balls with my homeboy. Like, who wouldn't?
Sell me these balls.
Sell me these balls. Put those balls in my mouth. I want to eat them with my boy.
The more the merrier. And I want some big ones, too.
I want some big balls.
Like, I
want to get my money's worth. Yeah, I'm not paying a little bit for these balls. Like, especially if I'm paying like $15 for 2 balls. 2 balls, $15. And I'm talking real balls. I mean, I guess it's probably more expensive than that, right? $50 maybe for real balls.
I don't know how much balls cost, man.
Balls are exotic, so.
Wow, I'm not
probably
a ball connoisseur, man.
Me neither, but that's why I'm marking the tally. This is an ongoing bit for people who are listening to the podcast. This is every single time. I'll say it again. Every single time I need a guy who's gonna look things up.
Dude, you know what we need a live chat, and that way when we're talking stuff like this, people can chime in and be like, "Oh, I had some balls. They're actually $7.99 and blah blah blah." You know what I mean? We can like get some info.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Is I feel like if I had like a big audience, it'd work really good. I don't know if it would work well if I just randomly went on Twitch and did this. Maybe. It might be possible. And the only other place I can think of is TikTok Live, which I do lives on TikTok, and I get a decent response sometimes. But what I observe with anything with going live is that all of a sudden your attention is split between,
right.
Now I'm trying to have a conversation with you, but I'm also looking at this and trying to read what they're saying, and that just immediately whatever this isn't here. It's a whole different thing. And so that can work, but it doesn't always work.
Yeah,
so
it is tough to kind of juggle that and pay attention,
Yeah, especially if we're trying to pay attention to their comments sometimes. And I feel like the real thing, too, is with that, it'll fuck up imagine you tune into any podcast ever. Like, I just want to hear how Joey Koff is. I want to see what this dude's actually like. I've seen a couple interviews of his. Oh, shit, there's a podcast of him for 2 hours. That's cool. I'm going to watch that podcast. And then they watch it, and they get to know you for 2 hours. Like, that's cool. And so...
And, you can't, like, when it's live, it's live. Like, you can't really make adjustments and mess with the sound and the video and chop it up. I mean, you could later on, obviously, but...
Yeah, and so imagine if you said something you definitely didn't want to say, and it was actually live.
Cut that. You're like, we're live, bro. Like, God damn it.
And that would be terrible, And I'm sure that's happened to many people many times throughout life. So... Yeah, I mean, I just air it live later to prevent that and to keep the conversation, I feel, a little bit more genuine. Because, people they're not paying attention to, we're actually on the internet right now. They're not thinking about it. It's not in their brain. It just produces, I think, a different thought pattern. Like, even though it's all going on the internet, as long as it's not live, it's a different thing. Because I know I do it. I know when I'm in front of a camera and I know it's live on the internet right then. I'm like, like I'm on Twitch. They're on Twitch. They're on Facebook Live. I better, look not like an idiot right now.
Yeah. You kind of, tense up a little bit. It puts more pressure on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. No matter what's going on, for the most part. For the most part. But with something like this, I feel like the context is just completely different. If it was a worse host, maybe. But, it's just, you're just talking. All you're doing is talking. So, yeah, it's not that hard to, feel, tensed up. But I'm telling you, I do, Facebook cameras. If somebody throws a Facebook Live on me, that's hard. So, the whole point being live is difficult. And back to the whole Jamie thing. Joe Rogan having a Jamie. You need somebody to be paying attention to all that live shit. Is this working? What if something's not working right after I have a big guest in here and all of a sudden we have a technical failure and it's me trying to hey bro, hang on a second. And this guy who, he's way more popular than I am. I'm lucky to have him in here. That'd be embarrassing. So, but if it was a third person, I'd be I could at least
I'll have my guy
situation.
Take care of this.
Yeah.
Hey, do you need a cup of coffee in the meantime? And you smooth it out.
There you go. Exactly. If it's just me, it's almost I feel like it's a subconscious, unprofessional thing. They're sitting there oh, this guy's, dang. Maybe they'll respect it. Maybe they'll be oh, he's doing it all himself. Or maybe it's oh, gee, it's okay, what am I walking into here? Because I'm over here hey, bro, I got you. Just give me a second. I'm sitting there on the computer for 5 minutes trying to... We all know how it can be on these computers, man.
You're doing everything, and then you're oh, I just ordered some pizza, and then you go to the door, and you come in with the pizza, you're the pizza delivery guy also. You're the audio guy, the video guy, the interviewer, the pizza guy. Then you're the janitor. You're cleaning up. You're you should do something like that, a video,
That's not bad.
Doing a podcast all by yourself, and you're doing every single possible thing, man.
That's not bad at all.
That'd be funny.
Because I try to make that my thing almost, man. I really try to do everything myself. It's kind of to my own detriment to an extent. I've noticed this where I could it would be a nice economic choice if I paid maybe $200, $300 for a good videographer to make a video for me. My problem is, where am I going to find a good videographer that's worth that amount of money? Because the amount of money I would pay for a good video is generally probably more around $1,000 from what I see in the market. From what I'm seeing of good quality video production that's thoughtful and it's and I'm not...
You want to pay somebody better than you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Somebody who's going to see a vision. Kind of like what we were talking about earlier. I don't remember if we talked about it on camera or not. But somebody who would understand your vision and somebody who would contribute to it and the collaborative aspect of that whole thing. They would add to that visually. And that's a whole different thing than if they were adding to it. We talked about it on podcast.
Yeah, we
Kanye.
were talking about it. Yeah.
We were just having these conversations off podcast on these breaks, so I'm forgetting. But yeah, the Kanye thing. So with that whole thing, I feel like that collaboration with video is a whole different thing. And that's how I'm kind of I'm selling myself short. I'm standing here and I'm putting these camera angles in different spots. And sure, I'm being thoughtful and I'm editing it all myself. And that's cool. And it's kind of my thing. But it would be cool to have a video with one of these people. It's just finding them. And I guess it works because I could do the bit that you just gave me, and it makes perfect sense for
Yeah,
my character. I'm literally doing it. I'm doing all those things. I might as well just like have somebody die in front of me and like start doing paramedic shit too.
There you go, man. There's more roles you can play.
I could add to the list for sure.
You'll be like Tyler Perry, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the bit goes on for 10 minutes or some shit. It never ends. I just keep doing other things. And then I come back, like the person's in the background the whole time or something. They gotta be like witnessing all of it. That's the part of it.
What was that movie? Oh yeah, like The Nutty Professor, where Eddie Murphy played all the roles too of like the family and stuff. You know what I mean?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen The Nutty Professor?
How new is it? Like
Nutty Professor is
2010s?
old, man. It's from like I don't know when that movie came out. Was it like the mid or late 90s?
Oh, it's that old. Oh wow. I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
though.
Eddie Murphy, The Nutty Professor. There's
Peak
a few
of Eddie
different
Murphy,
ones.
then.
Yeah, it was hilarious, bro. Where he plays Professor Clump. He's super fat, and then he drinks that stuff, and he gets all skinny, and like, yeah, man, you gotta watch it.
I do want to watch it. That sounds great.
That's required viewing, man. This is your homework. Write that to your list, man.
I will, because like the thing is, like, there's so many movies on my list, man. I don't know. Are you a movie connoisseur?
Well, I used to be. I mean, nowadays I don't watch a whole lot of movies, but I mean, back in the day, you know, I watched a lot of movies.
Now, what's the reason for that? What stopped you from watching movies? Is it life? Just life gets in the way?
Well, yeah, I mean, life, obviously, but also I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. I mean, I mostly, like, if I want to watch something, I'll watch it on my phone. Like, I'll watch YouTube or whatever, and, like, I don't really watch sports anymore except for MMA. Like, I'll watch UFC or something like that, but, I don't know. I just kind of lost the desire to really like keep up on movies and what's going on TV, you know.
Do you think it has anything to do with the quality of movies, or do you think it has more to do with just you? Like, is it a you thing?
I mean, I think that's a factor. I mean, because I feel like I've seen almost every kind of movie there is. Like growing up, I've seen sci-fi, action, horror films, comedy, and like obviously there's new cool shit that comes out, but I'm just not that excited about it anymore. Like, I don't even really know the new movies that are out. I know, like, the Mario movie that came out a while back, but, like, I barely even know about movies. Like, most actors that are popular right now, I couldn't tell you who they are.
There's a couple good actors around right now.
And it's even the same thing with music. And it's not, like, a hating type of thing. It's just, for whatever reason, like, I mostly listen to older music. Like, a lot of the newer artists that are out, I just don't really know who they are, because I think now because we have alternative methods, like we don't have to, like back in the day you had to watch regular TV, like that's what there was, and the movies was a big deal, and you had to pretty much listen to the radio. Like I guess you could buy a CD, but you weren't really exposed to like a lot of like underground and all these choices. Now you can you have so many choices. And so I'm naturally like a lot of the movies that I even will watch now are like older movies I've already seen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because I know I like them. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to go waste 2 hours of my time on a movie I might hate when I already know I like White Men Can't Jump that I've already seen 8,000 times, so I'll just watch that again, you know what I mean?
It's hard to find a good movie, and I agree that you get more like, you get more frugal. Is that the word? Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Frugal with your time as you get older. Like, it's like you don't want to waste your time. You don't want to spend your time doing the wrong things. And so it's like, if I'm watching this movie, it's 2 hours long, and I'm an hour in the movie and I'm not that interested, should I really finish the movie?
Like, there's times where I'll watch a movie and, like, I'll put it on. Sometimes, because me and my son, like, we watch movies sometimes, you know what I mean? And so, but there's times where, like, we'll put on a movie and we'll watch it for a few minutes and we'll both be like, nah, and we'll just turn it off, you know what I mean?
It's good that you guys both can agree.
Yeah, we usually agree, like, this movie sucks, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because some movies do suck.
Yeah.
Some people, like, they'll it's a hard thing to be next to somebody who doesn't understand how much a movie sucks, and you both have to watch the movie because they don't see how much it sucks, and you're just watching it along with them.
I remember when I was a kid, my dad took us to the movies to see this movie with Tom Hanks called Joe versus the Volcano. Wow. And I literally don't even really remember much about the movie, but my dad's was
I don't
like,
think anyone does.
Yeah, my dad was like, that's the worst movie I've ever seen. He's like, that movie sucked. I just remember that, man.
Joe versus the Volcano.
Just the title alone is like...
I'm writing that down at the tally because I wish somebody was pulling that up on like a big old TV.
Joe versus the Volcano, bro. I don't really remember it because like I was a kid or whatever, and obviously, apparently it sucked according to my dad. Maybe it is good because Tom Hanks is a great actor, but yeah, I'm gonna watch that movie now, or at least go back and like skim through it just to
make sure it's as bad as your dad said. Yeah.
Just to verify what my old man said.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, like, some movies are that bad. I remember I saw it. I can give you an example. A recent example. Recently, I went to theaters. I don't go to the theaters often, and I saw Cocaine Bear, and I was thinking,
Yeah,
you know what,
I've
this
been
movie's...
wanting to see that, but I've heard mixed reviews on it, man.
Dude, okay, the people who say it's good are those people who like don't really
Who are
care
on cocaine while they're watching it.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Basically, that does it. That basically explains it. It's like the people who are watching movies and they don't give a shit what's going on. They just want to see something wild going up on a camera. Like maybe it titillates their brain in some sort of way. It's trying somehow.
Gives them a
trying
dopamine
a little
rush.
bit, just a little bit. Yeah, like they're not looking for a lot in a movie, is what I'm saying. Whereas like somebody like me, I'm like, you know, I'm expecting the movie to do a little bit, like, you know, pay some homage to something, make me think a little bit, like make something happen in the scene here. Show me as a director that you're trying to do something. Show me as a scriptwriter you're trying to do something. Yeah, you got a great premise. Cocaine Bear.
Right.
That's good stuff. You could do a lot with this. And it just doesn't. No part of the movie hits, bro. It's just not it. And so, and as I was watching it, there were so many points where I'm like, wow, I'm in this movie theater living here when I could be anywhere else doing anything. Like, I'm spending, and the movie just kept not ending and kept doing different things, being one of those movies where it's like, what is going on here? Like, what is this?
Well, and the bad thing about a movie like that is you don't know if it's going to be good or bad when you go into it. Sure, you can hear reviews and watch the trailer or whatever, but you really don't know until you take your time, your valuable time, and go in and watch it.
Yeah.
And so it's like a crapshoot. You might waste your time, or you might. But that's why, like I said, I mostly watch like YouTube videos because at least I know like I'm probably gonna like this video. If it's like I'm watching the Ruse podcast or something, I know I'm gonna like that.
I clicked for it, and I didn't pay to watch it either. So
Yeah,
if I
like
click out, there's no fee.
Well, I do pay because I have YouTube Premium, but that's
Oh, but you're paying monthly.
I'm high class. You know, I don't need to see no ads. You know what I mean?
Dude, honestly, it's kind of worth it. And I don't even work for YouTube. I'm just saying, it helps. Because those ads, they're if you're like me, I just realized recently, because I was trying to find a video that I was showing somebody. I was just a video that I saw on, it was some clip of some podcast. I actually remember exactly what it was. It was Ari Shaffir getting his face licked by a dog on Joe Rogan's podcast. He was holding his dog on the podcast, his dog just like licking in the inside of his face. And I thought, man, it's wild. But there's a reason I was trying to show him the clip. And I had to scroll through my YouTube history. And man, it took me a while to get there. And as I'm scrolling, because I didn't remember when I watched it, and I'm scrolling through all this YouTube, all these videos I watched. And as I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking, like, dude, there's a human that watches all this YouTube, and that human's me.
Wow.
Someone watches all this YouTube. Is that even possible? Yes, because I did it. Like, it's a lot. My YouTube history goes deep.
Oh my god.
It goes so deep. And I was going just months behind. It took me probably, I'm talking maybe 20 minutes to scroll a couple months on my phone.
Holy shit.
It took me a long
Couldn't you just
time.
search like Ari Shaffir and face licked or something?
No,
like,
because it was an obscure ass thing.
Oh.
It was like, the clip maybe only had 600 views. No, I'm lying. Probably about 100,000. But the whole reason I want to show him, I remember now, is because I had a comment that was like one of the top comments, and it was just about Ari Shaffir, and it was like maybe it had 1,000 likes.
It was your comment, and
yeah,
dude, I did that recently too. I commented on this post, and I got like thousands of likes.
It feels good.
Like, yeah,
it's nice.
Dude, I just had a post go viral on Facebook, man.
Which one? Tell me about it.
It was a meme.
No.
Yeah, it was funny, man. It was on my fan page. It's funny because I post all kinds of my music and get some views or whatever, but nothing crazy. And then I post this freaking meme, and right now, last I checked, it had 514,000 likes.
No
and
way.
It's cool. I'm happy because I'm like, hell yeah. But then I'm like, man, like, why don't you guys like my music? Like, you know what I mean? You like my freaking memes.
What kind of meme is it? Like, what's the context?
I'll have to show it to you, but it was basically like somebody going like this with like a small ass book in their hand, and it said like what I say arguing. And then there was another one that was like this, and it was like a bunch of books, and it said versus what I think of, like what I think I should have said in the shower. Or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like when you argue and you just say a couple things, and then later on you're like, oh fuck, I should have said this and this and this, and so many. That
was it?
Yeah.
Did you make it, or did you just?
I didn't even make the meme. I seen it a while back, and it was in my camera roll, and something told me just to post it, so I posted it, and yeah, and dude, I mean, I got so many likes on. I'll show you, man. People are like, why is this so accurate? Like, it's insane, bro.
You said hundreds of thousands of likes?
I'll show you. Look, man.
That's such a crazy number. For just a random meme. Like, when you posted it, what were you thinking? I'm just trying to
it was weird
out.
because, like, I posted it, and I think, I don't know if it was like within a day or two or whatever, like it got up to like 1,000 likes, which even that was kind of a lot for, I was like, wow, that's actually kind of a lot for me, you know what I mean, to get on meme. And so I was like, this is cool. Like actually people like this meme. And then one day I woke up and it had 16,000 likes and I was like, holy shit, like this thing's going viral. And by the end of that day, I was like well over 100,000 that day. I mean, it just kept going like wildfire.
That's a lot of likes.
This is what it says.
Ah, okay. You can kind of hold it towards the camera a little bit.
Yeah, it says, what I say arguing, what does it say? What I say arguing, reflecting in the shower on how I could have answered.
Okay, and for people who are just listening, the whole idea is that it's like the world's smallest book for what they say when they're arguing.
Yeah,
and it's a bunch of books for what they... So it's basically there's a million things you think of in the shower.
And I'm guilty of that. I do that all the time. And so it has 88,877 shares. So that's how many people share. And it's crazy because you can see who liked it. And I mean, it's people from like all over the world, man. It's insane. And so I'm running with it. Like, so now I just been posting a lot of memes. Like I'll throw in a musical post here and there.
Yeah.
But you know, I feel like you got to give the people what they want. Like, do I really want to be known as some, you know, memeologist? Like not necessarily, but I am a funny guy. I like to laugh at things and whatever. So, hey, I'll post memes and funny stuff and then I'll still sprinkle my music because I was thinking like a good example was Upchurch, Ryan Upchurch. When I first heard of him, I didn't know that he was a musician. I didn't know he made music. I seen him do these funny little rants on Facebook. And I was like, oh, this guy's like funny. He's just some viral guy on Facebook or whatever. You know what I mean? Some comedian dude. And then all of a sudden I seen him do some music. I was like, wow, this guy does music too. So I think like his primary focus was probably his music, right? But he started doing these funny rants and getting a lot of attention. So he kept that, and that drew people into his music, like me, for instance. So if these memes can help draw people into my music or my other creative endeavors, then that's fine with me. As long as I'm getting some attention, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm an attention whore, you guys. Watch me, look at me. No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to get attention through music, though. That's the thing. And what I was gonna say is like, I feel like the problem is, this is what I'm trying to do with the podcast, is I've noticed that if you post too much of the wrong content in that area, the way the algorithms work, because yeah, you're thinking in your brain like, oh, this is a part of me, this is something I like, so if I'm putting it with my rap, who gives a fuck?
Right.
And if it gets a bunch of response, that's great, because it's just a bunch of people responding to my content. It's going to make the algorithm think my content's good. It's going to share it with more people. But the thing is, it's telling the algorithm, maybe this is wrong with Facebook, I'm not sure, because different algorithms are different. But I know that, like, I think how it would work is that it would tell people that your content is a meme page. It's just a meme page. And so Facebook's algorithm, whatever that is, however that works, the way that it would be programmed to think what you are, like, it would think you're a meme page because your most popular post is a meme.
Yeah.
And it knows that. Like, it can figure that out. It's not that dumb. It can figure out that that's a meme post, and a bunch of people are commenting on it like any other meme post. Like, that's how people respond to this, and blah, blah, blah. So your rap should be showed to a broader audience that might not like it because they're a meme audience. Yeah. They're people that they're not looking to hear.
Yeah, there's like old people on here, and there's people from all kinds of other countries around the world that don't even speak English, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and it's not always about numbers. It's more quality than quantity, but it is good to have big numbers. You know,
exactly.
Why not? It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt, and that's like to me, that's the catch with advertising. Even it's like you're paying to have those big numbers, and those big numbers might help, but also it just depends on how they work within these algorithms. Like I think the only one that's really worth it as a musician to me would be maybe buying streams, and even then I wouldn't want to do it myself, but I get it. Like if you were buying streams and it made it look like you had maybe, or even a playlist, buying playlist placements. That's not technically cheating or anything. It's not buying streams. It depends,
like, because there's some playlists that are just ran by bots or just a bunch of bots. But if it's like a legitimate playlist that people genuinely listen to and you get on it and real fans listen to your music on there, then yeah, that's definitely worth it, you know?
Yeah, and it can mean a lot to people who are just scrolling and they see it rather than 500, 700, just because you had those 200 people on that one playlist that one day. Like that monthly streamers. I don't know how it works on Apple Music or anything, and those people are real people. Yeah. So those people stick around. They like that one song. They'll listen to other ones. They become a fan. I mean, think about how you discover music in all kinds of different ways. So that matters. So I mean, like,
and just the fact is, man, if you see somebody with the big numbers, even if they are fake or whatever, like you look at them, wow, they're legit. People like them. You're more likely to like them. People are sheeple. You know what I mean?
It happens to me. I know it happens to me.
It happens to me too. As much as I want to say like, oh, I'm like underground, like I do what I want, like blah blah blah. Like no, like if I see somebody with a lot of numbers or views, I'm intrigued. Like who are they? They must be good. You know, I'll probably at least check them out. But I'll still check out guys that don't have views too. But those are the people you got to hear about them more. You got to hear from word of mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
like if it's a guy with like a music video with like 100 views and you click on it on YouTube and you're like, okay, like it doesn't have a big fan base. Like you already know going into it that's what it's going to be, 100 or less. And that's what most of my stuff is. So I'm not talking to anybody. I'm talking myself down. But it's like, you know, when that guy's there, it's like, am I going to check this guy out or not? And you're kind of like making that moral, not moral, but I guess you're making you're thinking about it in your head. You're doing the equation. Whereas if it was somebody with maybe 100,000 views, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna like be like, oh, this guy I just met has 100,000 views on this video. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the video.
Yeah,
what the fuck? What's this guy talking about?
Like,
he's already proven it. So that's a whole, it's a big thing. But I do try not to do it as well. I try to like check out whoever. I try to be like, you know what, I'm not gonna think about it that way. But in my brain, I catch myself doing it.
You try to give people a chance and like be impartial.
Because I know me. I know what I am. I know I'm good. And I know it's not like a million people know who I am. I know like the majority of humans on the earth don't even know who these popular people are. They definitely don't know who the fuck I am. So if that's how the world is, then, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's not a big difference.
Something I learned is nobody wants to be the first, but nobody wants to be the last.
Yeah.
You know? And so that's why, like, if you got 0 views, a lot of people are like, well, I'm not going to watch this video. But then nobody wants to be the 18 millionth person either. They want to know about it before everybody else does too, you know.
Yeah, that's very true. It's very true. And like I think with that being said, I do think that the best time to catch a musician is like when they're first really popping off. Like there's a couple people in like indie music I can think of in particular probably where it's like I found them at a time where I feel like, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like they weren't at the moment where they became as popular as they are now. And it's like kind of like watching a bubble inflate. Like at a certain point, the bubble stops inflating because it can't inflate anymore.
Yeah.
It hits like a barrier. That's how it is. Like, and if you catch it early enough, that's the cool part. And there's a few people I can think of that are like that, where it's like I caught them right before the bubble inflated.
Yeah, I found a lot of people like that. I remember Nipsey Hussle. I was bumping his music way back in the day when he put out, like, I don't know if it was his first mixtape, but he had a mixtape on Dat Piff, I remember years ago. And just a lot of people, man. Kendrick Lamar. I remember Nicki Minaj. I heard her music, and hers and Drake's music before it was even out, before anyone knew who they were, because this guy that I knew used to work for Atlantic Records, and he still had connects with them. So they sent him some of their music one day. We were just chilling in the studio, and he's like, I just got an email or whatever with these new artists, Nicki Minaj and Drake and whatever, and like I remember that song, like "You the Fucking Best," like he had that song, like or whatever, and
wow,
yeah, like Nicki was rapping on it and everything, and like he had all kinds of stuff. I remember, which this wasn't a new artist, but I remember hearing the Eminem show like weeks before it came out. Like this guy probably wasn't supposed to actually have it. He's actually a guy from Flint, by the way, too, but he's like a DJ and producer and stuff like that and works with them guys. But anyways, he was playing some of their music in his vehicle for us like weeks before the album even came out.
Really?
And I was like, wow, this is dope, you know what I mean? And then, a while later, like the album dropped and like I already heard half the damn album, you know what I mean? So that was pretty cool, man. So that's kind of one of the perks of being in the music business, like knowing people, you know what I mean? Like
yeah. And I mean, back to the whole Chicago thing we were talking about. I feel like a lot of that, it's hard to. Where were you at when that happened? Where did that happen at?
I was in Flint.
Oh, that was here. So is he from around here?
Well, the guy from Atlantic Records, he's from Ann Arbor.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if he ever lived out of state to deal with them or not. I'm not really sure, but he was like I don't know I can't remember what his job was. If it was like I don't know what his job title was, but he worked for Atlantic Records.
Interesting.
And, so he would get like exclusive music.
How big is Ann Arbor? I'm not sure. I might have to tally this one. Do we
probably
know?
About like Flint. I mean, maybe.
Well, I'm talking population. Are you talking like size?
Yeah, I would say comparable to Flint, maybe a little bit smaller, but
Okay.
I mean, it's where U of M is and all that, so you got all the college students down there.
I know it's a bigger place. Like, it's a bigger
Like,
city.
it's not a huge city or nothing like that, but there's like a little downtown. And
I'm going to Google it.
yeah,
It is
I would
Ann
think
Arbor
there's probably less people there than Flint.
You think so?
Yeah.
It says Ann Arbor population 121,000.
Oh, well, that's more than Flint nowadays, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like maybe before it was less, but definitely not now, because Flint's 80,000, 80.5.
Okay.
So that's
Well,
120.
now, if you go back some years, Flint used to be bigger for sure.
It's been
but
slowly declining.
everybody,
yeah.
with GM shut down and everything. So.
I mean, well, even like I was looking at this recently. I mean, I might as well double tally this one. But I was looking at it recently. I want to throw a TV back here because that's the other thing. I wish I had a visual representation of what I'm about to say. But it was because you can look at this. You can look at wherever any population has gone up and down. And I was looking at the Flint one, and I can't remember if it just went straight down from the 60s with that whole white flight thing, or if there was maybe any point where it started to maybe not, or maybe the decline at least wasn't as bad, because I don't think it's like it was. Like, it's not like it's been a straight shot down. It definitely went down real quick in the 60s, and if maybe like 10 years ago it was at 150. Maybe it was around double.
Yeah,
10
I
years
know
ago.
that for a fact there was well over 100,000 people,
Yeah.
I don't know, 10, 20 years ago for sure, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Flint was booming at one time, man.
Yeah, I mean, not that. How long ago was that? How long ago do you think Flint was really booming? 'Cause
I
when I
think
see
Flint
photos,
was-
it looks pretty ancient. It looks like 1950s, 1940s. That's what I think.
I think it was booming even in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and then up to even the 90s. But then they started closing down GM plants.
Oh, maybe I had the history all wrong because I haven't looked into this in a long time.
Because
was it in
like
the 90s?
my dad, for instance, he's from up north.
Yeah.
He moved down here from up north. Matter of fact, he missed his graduation when
Yeah.
he was 18 years old. He missed his high school graduation so he could start working at GM in Flint. And so he moved down here in probably the late 60s. My mom, she's from Flint born and raised, but she worked at GM too. And so people literally, man, there's songs, man, about people moving to Flint. I mean, that was a big thing. That's why this area is so diverse, because, and I feel like that's why we're so talented around here, because people came here from all over the country. It's like a melting pot. So you have people from the South, the East, the West, so all these different like groups of people, different cultures, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people with just all these different flavors, man. Like, it's like the Flint gumbo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, we got so
and
many
I think
flavors.
the Midwest, I think one thing I've just heard and noticed about the Midwest is people are generally pretty kind. Where most places you go, people are generally pretty kind. And I haven't been outside of the Midwest a whole bunch, but I know for a fact, if I go to LA, people ain't gonna be smiling at me and being all cool like they are.
They're
around
gonna
here.
be more superficial, you know what I mean?
Just because that area, that's the aura, that's the energy, that's everything that's going on there. That's what's happening in.
Plus, they're so pissed off because they got high ass taxes and bad traffic.
Yeah.
So they're like, they're mad. They just waited 82 minutes in traffic just to go get an In-N-Out burger. You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking about that. How much is gas in LA?
I don't know, probably $6 a gallon.
Really? How much is it in New York? Man, that's another question I was
Probably
thinking
about the same. New York's expensive as hell too, man.
Because I know in Chicago, it's only usually, every time I go there, if I remember correctly, I think it's about $1 more than it is here. Almost every time without fail, it's $1 more than it is back at home. So if it's like about $4 for a gallon here, it's $5 there.
Yeah, no, Cali's more expensive for sure, man.
Yeah, I
and
mean-
their state tax, everything's is just crazy.
Is
man.
it, you know what the percentage is? I wonder if it's like, because I know in Chicago it's wild too. It's about 10% for every
That's
sale.
crazy.
That's pretty high.
I don't know. I heard something one time 16%, but I don't know if that's true.
That's crazy.
I might be wrong. So
Yeah, I mean, if that's true, can you imagine 16%?
let's see.
That's that's close to, man. That'd be like if you bought a Snickers bar and you paid $1, and you had to pay 16% of that dollar. That's $1.16. So you bought, okay, 4 2-liters. You had to pay $8.
Oh, okay. Well, this says the statewide tax rate is 7.25%.
Oh, that's not so bad.
So yeah, I'm way wrong, man. What's wrong with me?
But you know what? If we had
What
our
was
dude,
that? I heard something about some 16% tax, but I don't remember what it was.
what I would Google if I was you is world's or U.S. highest tax.
Okay, so this is saying So the income tax on individuals tops out at 13.3%. But oh, never mind.
But that's different. It's got to be what do you call that? Purchase taxes. Sales tax.
Whatever,
Sales
whatever,
tax. That's what it is.
Whatever.
See, this is
Either
what I'm
way,
saying.
it's expensive as fuck just to live there. Okay,
This is
gas
so funny
is crazy.
'cause
Houses are expensive. Food. All right.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. Well,
God damn it.
it's expensive to live in so many places, man. Like if you wanted to go to Hawaii, is it cheap? Is it cheap?
No,
I haven't looked it
Hawaii
up.
is really expensive.
Gotta be.
But that's because they gotta get everything imported.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it's a vacation destination for so many people. So to have a house there, you're taking up space. You're picking a spot and planting your ground in like a land that people want to be in. You know that's what raises the price. There's a demand there.
Yeah,
people
I got a buddy,
there.
man, that actually he had a nice house here, and he rented his house out to someone and moved to Hawaii.
No way.
Yeah.
He moved to Hawaii.
Yeah, he moved to Hawaii.
How long is he still there?
Yeah, he's been there for a few years now.
Has you talked to him? I wonder how his experience is because he's from here.
Yeah, he acts like he. Well, it's funny because ever since I've known him, he's talked about wanting to live on the beach. Like that was his thing, man. That was his goal. You know what I mean? And yeah, sure enough, he did it.
Wow, and he hasn't looked back. He's still there.
No, I don't even know if he's ever came back here at all.
He probably loves it, man.
Yeah, he's always posting videos and pictures all day long of the view, the ocean, and all kinds of stuff, man.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, for some people, that's great. That's great. That, like, it's hard to recognize what it is that sets you off early on and like be certain about it because it could be a million things. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
But like for him, that was it. My mom always talks about the beach, but she's talking like beach house when she gets older. Maybe though, if in a different life, if she would have went to Hawaii at 20 years old, that would have done it.
Yeah.
Because that's probably it. That's probably the best beach you can get.
Oh hell yeah!
Hawaii.
Right on the Pacific Ocean, like.
And it's not like the Keys in Florida or anything like that. It's Hawaii, bro.
And you're like in the middle of the ocean. You know what I mean? It ain't like you're just on like the coast. Like you're, man.
Like it's something different. And like not many people can say they've had that life. That's a whole different way of being on a beach. It's just life.
I've never been to Hawaii and I'm definitely gonna go there eventually. Like that's on the bucket list. But I don't know if I would really like living there. I think it would be a place I would like to stay for a while, but I don't know about totally living there. I think I would feel almost like claustrophobic, like I'm trapped, you know
Isolated.
what I mean? Because I mean, how do you get out of there if there's an emergency and you have to like move quick? You can't just be like, all right, I'm just gonna drive to another state. Like you got to get a flight. You got to like get on a boat. You got to do something. You know what I mean?
Dude, I was in Traverse City and they have what's that island right next to or when you're Mackinac City, Mackinac Island, Mackinac Bridge, all that. So I was in Mackinac City and you cross the Mackinac Bridge and you see that island, Mackinac Island, and it's right there next to the UP in Michigan. So I was just thinking, like, I'm pretty sure there are people that live on that island, or at least islands nearby there, because there's a few.
Yeah, there are people. There's houses on there.
Yeah, and so it's like, that's the same thing, but just on such a minor scale.
But you can't drive there. You can't drive cars there. You know.
You can't exactly. So what's gonna happen if something really goes wrong? You're stuck on the island? What if you run out of resources? What if something really goes bad and you're stuck there? Or like, what if you're dying and you can't get off the
like
island?
in the wintertime because it freezes, you know, the water freezes and everything, so you can't take a boat, you know what I mean? So you'd have to take like a plane or a helicopter, you know.
I wonder. Someone's probably thought about this that lives there, of course. There's probably a solution to these problems we just don't know about. It's got to be. There's got to be. There's no way you would live on an island, and there's millions of people that have lived on isolate islands. But it's an expensive lifestyle. It has to be. That's the other side of it. So if it's that expensive, you probably have the money to deal with these.
Well, yeah, I would live there just in the summer. Like, why would you even want to live on an island in the winter? Like, what's the? I mean, do you want to go ice fishing? Like, what do you really want to do? You know what I mean?
Maybe you're just that much of a recluse and you just don't want to see people.
I hate people. As long as you had food and everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, you got to ice skate to get off of your...
But I was thinking, actually, earlier today, because I've always wanted to, like, live somewhere warm in the winter. I've always lived in Michigan my whole life, but I was just thinking earlier when I was, like, out and about, I was driving, I'm like, man, I feel good. Like, the sunlight, like, you feel good. Obviously, you get the vitamin D, you know what I mean, and you're warm and you feel good. And I was just thinking, like, man, in the wintertime, I always just feel a little bit shittier, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I need to live somewhere warm all year round. Like, I'll come back here in the summer because it's nice here in the summer, but in the wintertime, man, screw this Michigan weather, dude. I'm getting out of here. I want to live somewhere warm.
Yeah.
And just get that vitamin D all year round and be able to work out outside. And it's just more uplifting. You know what I mean?
Imagine being in one of those English countries where there's no sunlight. You're just in the clouds all day.
Oh,
like
man.
it is warm, but you just can't see the sun. That's not there. It's there, but it's not there. That would suck.
Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, I feel like even in Chicago, I feel like it's a little bit cloudier there. Maybe that's just me going
it kinda
crazy.
is. Like New York, man. Even there, like there's so many tall ass buildings. Like if you're in the city or whatever, like you can't even get a lot of sunlight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just won't get it. And when you do get it, it's like, whoa, sun. And so the only thing about that is I feel like there's two things I wanted to say. So like one, there's seasonal depression. So that's just proof of what you're saying. Yeah. Like that's the psychological proof that exists probably on some spectrum for everybody. Like that's because that's how most psychological things are. It happens to everybody on a spectrum. Maybe it doesn't happen to you at all, or maybe it happens to you a little bit, or maybe you're the guy who's diagnosed with it because it's that bad. But it's like everybody. I feel like when you don't get enough sun, you don't get enough like daylight. You don't get enough of that heat, that beautiful heat. It just gets depressing. You can't get away from it. It's like, oh my God, like I just haven't felt like a human in so long. I felt like I've been trying to survive. I've been stuck inside this little shell of a house, this shell of a wherever you're at. And you can't go outside because it's not like you can go outside easily. You have to put all these things on, and maybe you'll be comfortable, maybe you'll be miserable. Whatever you're doing, you have to do way more things
so you're
to
just
prepare.
not as active. You're just like, I'll just sit here on my couch and watch Joe versus the volcano,
Yeah, naturally, because you have to, because it's like the only thing that makes the most sense. If you really are the guy who goes out on those winter days, you're doing it you're making a statement as you do that. You're thinking about it as you do that. So with all that being said, I totally understand. The only reason I would say not to do that is if you were the guy who grew up in like California and you didn't get to have those snowy days.
Yeah, like there's some people who've never even seen snow, you know what I mean? And it's like, wow, like this is magical, Yeah. To us, we're like, we've never seen palm trees, so that's like magical,
Yeah, we're like, get me the hell out of here. Yeah. and for good reason on both ends. It's just like, there's a whole world out there, like we've been saying, and there's just so much that you haven't seen. And so it's like when you get stuck in this place for so long, you kind of want what you don't have. It would be nice to have a real, like, cold winter. A real beautiful, if you were the guy from California, that's what I'm saying. Or from Mexico. Let's go even deeper. You're deep in Mexico. It's hot as hell. It's like 110 degrees out, 120 degrees. Even in California, it's like that in some places. Like I'm deep in California. Yeah. But yeah, it gets real hot. Texas, I'm sure much of Texas, super hot. Like unlivable hot if you're just walking out there in the environment. And
that's why I said I would like to live somewhere like that in the winter, but then come back here in the summer because some of them places, it gets too damn hot in the summer.
Well, my mom went to, that's why I mentioned California. I'm trying to remember where she went, but it was inland California. I believe it was, it's not going to come to me. But it's not too far from Las Vegas. They drove about 3.5 hours from Las Vegas, I believe. That sounds about right. It wasn't too far, but it's somewhere in that little region, and it's inland California is the main detail, like deep inland California. And during those summer days they were there, I remember calling her, and she was telling me that it was 110 degrees out was the peak that day. And I think it was about, because they were a couple hours behind me, so I think it was about 7 a.m. when I was talking to her. Like I was talking to her probably about 10. And she was saying at 7 a.m., like, we're going out right now because right now it's about 96, 97, 98, whatever she said. And it's going to get way hotter. So now's the best time for us to go out at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, that's too hot, man.
Because that's what it is. I mean, it gets that hot. You have to go out in the morning. And you got to imagine the people that live there, their whole daily schedule is probably around that. They probably go out in the morning. They don't go out in the middle of the day. They're going to fucking die. They go out there.
And it's like you can't really walk your dogs out in that type of shit.
Your dog won't want to walk. Yeah, you literally can't. You can try. Your dog will stare at you and just not do it. I know for a fact my dog stops walking at about 94, probably 90. Like, if he runs, he's done at 90. If he runs for just like 10 minutes on end, he's probably done at 90. So I can't imagine a dog walking at 110. That'd be freaking... And walking at any extent at all. I'd blow my mind. That'd be a tough cookie. I want that dog.
Yeah, I remember one time actually, speaking of Traverse City, I went up there for vacation, and I had 2 dogs at the time, and I took them for a pretty long walk, and it was pretty hot out, and man, I mean, they just started slowing down. They're like man, I damn near had to drag him after a while. And then we got back to the hotel we were at, and there was like a couple big puddles in the parking lot, and they're just drinking water out of these puddles, just slurping water, man. They're so dehydrated, you know.
And they don't care. They do not care about the source of the water.
No, they didn't care, man. They were like, and then they were just like laying there, like they're damn near dead, like lifeless, man. They're just exhausted, man.
Yeah, one thing I was thinking about recently is that dogs have no filter, man. They're really authentic. Did I just say that to you today, or is this a thought I've had? I'm really trying to rack my memory about the things I've said at the right times. I mean, I'm going to be terrible with my stand-up bits when I'm a comedian because I'll just say the same bit 3 times in the same set. Like,
They'll be like, we already laughed at that. You're like, oh, shit. Maybe that could be your bit, is just repeating yourself. You know what I mean?
Play into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be so bad. But I forgot what I just said. That's how bad the amnesia is. I forgot the question.
You're talking about dogs are so authentic.
Dogs are authentic, man. They are. Yeah, that's true because they don't lie to you. They don't lie. Cats lie. Cats lie. They will lie. They'll like pull some shit, and they know how to like play your mind a little bit and like do the right thing to get you to do the right thing. Dogs, I feel like they're for real, and that's one thing I've thought about this in many ways. I've had this conversation in many ways in my mind. Like, are dogs better than cats? And it's just 100% yes for me. I mean, where do you fall in the spectrum?
Oh yeah, I'm not a big fan of cats. I love dogs.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to cat people. It's just like...
The only benefit of cats is the litter box. You don't have to let them outside, but then you got to clean the litter box. So
I was about to disagree with you hard because I hate cleaning it. The litter box is a whole thing I don't even want to deal with.
I mean, it's gross and nasty, but it's just you can be a little more lazy. You ain't got to let them outside all the time.
So you pay more.
But they're assholes, man. It's like when you want to pet them, they don't want you to. They do that thing where they like hunch their back, they scratch you and whatever and claw you, and then like... When you don't want them around you, then they want to hop on you, man. Like, what the hell?
Well, I was saying the litter box costs more. But dogs overall do cost more than cats. And cats do wild shit like you just said. That's why cats have become the thing I don't like. I used to think I liked them, and now it's like a cat's just going to do some shit that it doesn't need to do. Like, I go to touch the cat, and the cat's just like... Like, what are you doing? And a dog might do that, but nowhere near the amount a cat does that. Cats are just like, their whole thought process is completely different.
And I mean, who's gonna protect your house, a cat or a dog? Like,
that's a good question. Maybe quantity. Probably it's all quantity there. Because if you had like 20 cats, maybe if you're the crazy cat lady, you got some good protection. They will hold it down. Like even if you're the guy with the gun, you got 20 cats coming at you, it's over.
But who the hell wants 20 cats?
No one except crazy cat lady.
Right, fuck that.
So overall, dogs, yeah. Like dogs are gonna hold it down, especially the right breeds. Like you get a pit bull or 2.
Like I would, if I was a robber, which I'm not, by the way, for the record. But if I broke in someone's house and they had a cat, like I just punt it like a football. Like what the fuck? But a dog, if it was like a big mean dog, I mean, I'd be scared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'd still rob them because I'd be smart. Like I'd bring a piece of steak with me or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
There's some cruel people that would kill the dogs. That's what hurts me.
I don't like that.
Steak's a good idea.
Yeah, steak.
Never thought of that.
And then if he tries to eat, if he eats the steak too fast and tries to bite me, then I'm gonna shoot him. But that's the last resort is shooting the dog. Cause
I was walking my dog recently, and he's a little boy, and he's been on the podcast a few times, Mr. Oscar. And so we were walking, and there was a big pit bull, and we've seen this dog. This dog's seen us. We've seen this dog many times, but it was always in its yard, and it was like running at us, like going full on. And I remember Oscar was like kind of freaked out. He didn't know what to do because he was just walking. We were crossing the street, and normally I don't even let him cross the street, but in that spot I do. So he's already kind of on edge. He's crossing the street, this and that, and this dog's running at him now. And I remember I think I picked him up. Yeah, that's what happened. I picked him up and I held my hand out at the dog, which some part of my brain just told me that was the right thing to do. But if that was a dog that was gonna bite, man, I could have put myself in a bad situation because I just held my hand right out at the dog. And the dog, luckily, it was like a pit bull that was running up just to be, just to say hi, just to be like, hey, what's going on? What's over here? It was just roo, 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 roo. And then when it got up to us, it was just basically wanting to smell us. It was exciting.
Yeah.
It wasn't aggressive, but you never know. Big ass pit bull.
And that's the thing about it. You don't know.
Yeah, so that's how I fucked up. Yeah. Because it's like, dude, I could have got my whole hand ripped off. If that was a different situation where it was just a pit bull that I don't know, Because I'm thinking of my brain. Oh, dogs, they trust me. Like, maybe not this dog. Maybe not this one.
Well, and the thing is, it's not that they're like so like aggressive and mean, but they're scared of you. You know, think about it. You're this animal on these 4 legs, and you look up and you see some guy, and he's making all these sounds with his mouth. You don't know what the hell he's saying, and you know what I mean? You're like, you're scared. You don't know if he's going to hurt you or not. So your natural instinct is, well, I'm going to attack, you know?
Maybe that makes my response better in some strange way. Maybe I'm initiating peace by holding my hand out. I'm like, hey, bro, it's just me. I don't think you're going to bite me. I'm trusting you. Maybe there's some part of that where it's like the dog understands that I'm being cool.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they're smart. They know what's going on.
It just depends on the dog. Like, if they were raised in a loving household and they're used to people petting them, and then you probably won't bite you unless, like, you're really posing a threat, you know what I mean?
Well, it's just your reaction, too. Yeah. Like, if you're somebody who's super scared of dogs and you're like, you kind of, like, create that situation by being so afraid. You go, and the dog's freaking out now.
Yeah, they sense your energy, man. Yeah. They're good at that.
And because of your fear, because of the fear that you just mentioned, I mean, he's gonna freak out and he's gonna be like, "Oh my god, like what's going on? I'm gonna attack this person. I don't know what's going on."
That's why I try to, even though I might be scared, I try to act like I'm not scared. I try to act dominant when I'm around dogs like that. Like the other day, for instance, there was a couple dogs that were getting into my neighbor's trash, and they were like these 2 pit bulls. And people were driving by and telling them to quit, and they weren't quitting. They were still getting in the trash. Well, I literally left and went and made a run and came back like a while later, and they were still out there. And I mean, they were like dragging the trash like in their mouth and pulling it out in the middle of the road. And I was getting ready to let my dog out. And I'm like, I don't want my dog to be out and then also have these dogs because I don't want them to fight or who knows what can happen. So I was like, I'm gonna get these dogs out of here. So I like pulled up to them. I was in my vehicle.
This is some Flint ass shit, by the way.
I rolled my window down and I was like, hey, get out of here. Get the hell out of here. I yelled at him, you know what I mean? And one of them took off immediately. Well, the other one was like, screw you, you know what I mean? It was looking at me. And so I got out of the vehicle. And I was, you know, like maybe like across the street from him. I wasn't like right up by him, but I mean, if it wanted to attack me, it could have definitely came at me and attacked me, you know what I mean? But I acted like strong, like I was like, hey, get the F out of here. I like yelled at it, you know what I mean? And it ended up taking off. But but the other people that were driving by, they didn't have the fucking balls to do that, or maybe they were too smart to do that. Maybe I'm just an idiot, you know what I mean?
No, I think you're right, because like
they were just like, shoo little doggy, and the dog's like, screw you, I ain't scared of you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it doesn't take you serious. That's why I'm saying, like, I was gonna say, I've told my sister a million times, like, maybe my sister, maybe this happened with other people, she's the one sticking out my brain, where it's like there'll be an animal and it's doing a thing you don't want it to do, and it's just like a pet that's at my house, for this example, because this is probably where this has occurred in real life. Is what I'm talking about. I'll see the pet and it'll be like eating the food. No, it's I'm trying to think of a good thing that a pet would be doing you really don't want it to do. It's about to kill a squirrel. It's about to kill an animal right in front of you. You go, hey, stop! Like I'm holding back, but I don't hold back at all. When my pet's about to like do something I don't want it to do, I go as hard. Like
That's what I do.
Yeah, I'm like, no! Like, it's like I'm watching something
up.
die in front of me. I am letting my animal know the urgency of this situation. In my brain, in their animal brain, they don't really know what's happening, but they know that I'm making a very urgent sound. And if I'm saying their name, like something like that, like, hey, Oscar, no.
Right.
He's like, whoa. And if I'm saying it super serious, I'm yelling. But, like, with my sister, like I'm saying for the example, she'll be like, like she'll be taken off guard. Yeah. It's like, no, like, you don't understand. This is how you do it. That's how you get them to take you serious. You have to really yell at them.
It's just like a kid. Like, you see these parents, it's like, you know, they're at the supermarket. They're like, no, little Billy, we're not getting Pop-Tarts. Put the Pop-Tarts back, Billy. Billy, come on now, Billy. Come on. Like, and the kid's like, screw you. Like, I'm getting the Pop-Tarts. And then you see the other parent like, put the fucking Pop-Tarts back right now, like, or I'm busting your ass. Like, and I'm not saying you need to swear at your kids or spank them, but I'm just saying,
two different extremes.
You, like, put the fear of God in them where they're like, oh shit, I better put the Pop-Tarts back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just works. You have to be an authority figure, man. People respect that. Animals and kids, they respect that. You know? And there's a way to do it where you're not like abusive. I'm not saying that, but you got to be stern. You know what I mean?
You got to know how to do it. I think in customer service, you learn that pretty quickly. I mean, it's one of those lessons you have to learn, especially if I imagine if you're a manager, all these things, it's worse and worse. But especially like when you're dealing with customers, you have to be like, if somebody's being too much, you got to know how to like properly deal with that. And you're the person that has to deal with the situation. Like it happens in any customer service job anywhere. You're the guy who has to talk to that person that's just trying to give you a hard time.
And I'm a nice guy. Like I do like I feel like I would be good at customer service, but I'm also like I see the videos where someone's like disrespecting, you know, the McDonald's manager, and the person's just like, sorry, sir, like I'll try to make it up to you, and the person's like swearing at him. Like I eventually would, like at a certain point would be like, screw you, like get the F out of my establishment or I'm beating your ass. Like I'm not gonna just let somebody completely disrespect me and walk all over me just because they're the customer and I fucking forgot their French fries or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you, but at the same time, I'm thinking like, what would the Jedi Master do? What would the Jedi Master do? Would the Jedi Master crack under that pressure, or would they keep their cool and find a way? Like the next time this guy comes through, like you're just so cool. You don't even care about that guy so much.
I would be cool, but like if they're pushing like, you know, the point, like my boundaries where they're like cutting me down and like swearing
you guys are so
stupid,
stuff, you fucking asshole, like, this and that. Like I don't even know why the fuck.
Get the hell out of here, you know what I mean?
And he's yelling, all these other customers are hearing, so he's just causing a riot type of deal. Not a riot, but you know, he's causing a reaction, causing a ruckus. Everybody's trying to look at this and what's going on here, you know. You don't want that. You don't want that in any establishment. Yeah, those people are the worst. Especially most people don't go that far, but they exist. These people are out there. They can't hold themselves in. I almost feel bad for them.
Well, a lot of people, people that do that got problems. I mean, you never know. They could be having a bad day, you know what I mean? Maybe they weren't raised right. Like, who really knows? They're insecure. People that lash out like that are usually insecure.
And that's what I think
they feel like they have to prove something. You know what I mean?
That's what I think of in those situations. I try to ground myself and be like, I could be them.
It's just like people that make rude comments online, you know, like on YouTube and stuff like that. It's like anybody that's really successful and happy in their life, they're not going on YouTube and fucking disrespecting people in the comments. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a good point. And the people who are successful in life shouldn't care about what people who aren't successful in life are saying in those comments. It's a waste of your time.
Like, you'll never see a hater doing better than you. And if somebody is like a successful person that is doing better than you, usually they won't throw shade like in a YouTube comment. If they really care about what you're doing or want to give you advice, they'll talk to you like off the record and try to give you some advice. Hey man, I think this video could have been better. Maybe you could try this. Whatever. Like constructive criticism is great.
If they're a Jedi Master,
dude, what is
they'll do that and they'll learn from you and do what you're doing, but do it better. Like they'll find a way to use what they saw you do and like perfect it better than you could ever do. That's what the Jedi Masters do.
They can show you better than they can tell you, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Like they would give you the tips, but they would also like take everything that you're doing and just do it a million times better. Be like, hey, do it like. They wouldn't even say that to you. They would just do it better than you. You have to like. You realize they made a music video one day. You'd be like, yo, that's me. I think that's what Kanye does. I think Kanye just steals everyone's thing, and everybody knows that he steals these. But he steals it in like a way that he just makes it better than everybody else ever could. Like with that whole church sound he did. I'm pretty sure someone else did it right before him, and he just caught it and just did that. But you know, if you're really good at stealing and making things your own, you can do it. You can make it better.
Well, no, they say, what is it? R&D doesn't stand for research and development. It stands for rip off and duplicate.
Ah.
And I also heard a guy say...
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I also heard a guy said, what does he say? Good artists or whatever. He said they don't, what did he say? Something like they don't imitate or they don't borrow, they steal. Like they actually just steal from other people, you know what I mean? And you know, I hate to say it, but it's true. I mean, look at a lot of songs, a lot of popular movies, a lot of things. People literally just stole somebody else's idea.
I think Quentin Tarantino is a good example of somebody who openly steals in a way that pays homage to what he's doing. Yeah. Like he does it in a way that the tone of his films, it even makes sense that he's doing it. Like, and if you're somebody who's really into films like him, you'll catch a lot of these things.
Like you're flattered by it. If you're the person that he stole from, he's doing it in a flattering way because it's artistic. Yeah. He's not going to steal exactly every single thing that you did. You know what I mean?
Right. He's not copying your movie. He's just taking like things that stuck out visually. Most of the time, it's visual things. I don't think he takes like plot elements. He might, but I know a lot of his visuals will be like. You can look at it shot by shot and be like, oh, that's the same as this movie and this movie. And it's not a steal. He's not stealing. He'll tell you what he did. It's just that he's taking that idea and modernizing it and putting it in his film and recontextualizing it the same way that any art would ever do. It's the same thing. You're always recontextualizing these different things into your own art. It just makes sense.
Well,
I think it's just cool that he visualizes that. He puts that on. Like he puts down what we're talking about. That's we all do it in different ways.
It's like sampling. If you listen to most hip hop records that have ever been made, at least, you know, now recently there's more original stuff, but like all the music from the 80s and 90s damn near was a sample, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they sample shit, but a lot of times they make it better. And then maybe not even necessarily better, but they just put it in a different format, you know?
Yeah, they make it something else. Yeah, and that's kind of the beauty of it. And that's kind of the beauty of all of it, is we're always doing that with everything. We're always just picking up a thing.
I mean,
and
ain't
making it something
nothing new
else.
under the sun, you know, if you think about it. There's not a word that hasn't been said. There's not an instrument that hasn't been played. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why you see movies. They're the same movies that come out over and over and over and over and over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like with that's just a lack of inspiration. It's a lack of, like, I mean, I think a lot of it is culture has moved in this direction where everything is incentivized by funding, and they just don't really know what audiences are responding to based on that formula. Like, they've just only been looking at money and numbers, and they moved to streaming, which is a whole different format. And so, like, the whole industry that makes all this stuff doesn't really know how to adapt to this whole new version of how people are watching everything.
Yeah.
A lot of these shows are movies. They're just movies that turned into shows and things like weird things like that. I know a lot of the Disney content, at least, is that, or not, maybe not Disney, I mean, but the Marvel content recently. And I think they're trying to move away from that and do more films now, which is good. I'm glad to hear that, because it wasn't really working, and that doesn't really work. Like, if there's like the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, if you're into Star Wars, you'd be super excited if they made an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. You'd probably go out and see it, especially if they had a better track record. I mean, their latest track record is not great, but still, a lot of people go, Obi-Wan Kenobi, awesome. A movie, I'll go and see that. But the TV show on freaking Disney Plus, I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds just corny.
Yeah, and it's just exactly what it sounds like, in the sense that it's one of those plots that they stretch it out. It could have been a movie, but they stretched this thing out into like a 9-hour show.
I'm more of a Cobra Kai guy myself, you know.
I haven't watched that, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, dude, they're getting ready to do their last season, man. You need to check it out. Yeah.
Season 6?
I think is it 6? 5
Maybe.
or 6?
I don't know. I don't know the show very well.
I should know, but yeah, I've seen them all. I've seen every episode so far. So I heard they're doing a new season around September.
Nice, and that's like a show that's properly picked up an earlier thing and ran with it.
Yeah, and I thought it was gonna be dumb, you know. To be honest, when I first see it, I'm like, dude, the Karate Kid, like, whatever. Why are they trying to revamp this? This is gonna be corny. It's gonna be stupid. And then I watched it, and I was like, wow, I actually like it. But I thought, like, okay, they're just gonna do like one season, and it's kind of like a novelty thing, cool, you know, whatever. But obviously people liked it, and it, you know, like, brought out, like, it obviously brought out the people that seen it before, the original, but it brought out new fans, new eyes, you know what I mean, a younger crowd too.
A lot of people probably went back and watched the original films because of it.
And and so they just kept making seasons, and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be the last one. This is gonna be the last one, and it like kept going on, and they did. I think they did a brilliant job with it for something that I thought like was gonna be like they were dragging it out way too long. You know what I mean? Like, nah, they'd actually like made sense. Like they made it interesting. They've
justified having that many seasons.
Yeah, like it works. It doesn't feel like they're just like stretching it out and like overdoing it, you know, but. From what I hear, like, this next one is going to be the last season.
For real this time.
Yeah, for real this time. And I think it's about time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, how long has it been on? I have no idea. 2016 to now, maybe? I'm guessing completely. Sounds about right with, 6 seasons? Especially with, I know COVID paused a lot of shows for different reasons.
I don't think it was out that early.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm guessing. 2018?
Yeah, maybe around then.
Cause Netflix.
Yeah. Because, I don't think, it definitely wasn't 2016. I don't know. I've been wrong about everything, though, so don't listen. Hey, you know what I do want to say, though? Remember I said California has 16% sales tax?
Yeah.
Well, so obviously that was wrong, but the reason I said that, I remember now. I was getting ready to book a vacation a couple years ago, and I looked up a hotel in California, and they were trying to charge me 16% tax to book this hotel room. That's what it was. It said like 16% sales tax or state tax, some fee that this hotel was trying to charge me. So I got confused, but
I wonder if that had anything to do with, because I know when I'm booking a hotel, they charge a hotel fee, but that's not called a state tax.
Yeah, well, whatever it was, they were trying to charge me 16% on top of what I was already paying for the room, and I'm like, that's a little extreme. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How
And
much was
then
it
they
on
were-
top of the room? 16%. So like
yeah.
you did the math exactly, or did
Yeah.
it say 16%?
It
Like,
was
you did the math.
16%.
Okay, that's weird. That's a weird amount. Because like, let's say you pay $1,000. That's 160 extra dollars just for a hotel.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And it was like, so like they said, like to have a rental car, you had to pay an extra $50 a day just for parking and all this crap. And I'm like, man, screw that. You know what I mean? So I ended up going to Myrtle Beach instead.
Myrtle Beach is nice. I've been there.
Yeah, it's really dope. I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to go back because it's
Dude,
a really
I'm wearing
cool
a
place.
Tybee Island shirt. It's not that far away from there,
Okay.
actually. Yeah.
Nice.
But when were you in Myrtle Beach?
2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was really fun. I'm definitely going to go back. It's a fun place.
Yeah. It's just I mean, in terms of just getting away from home, that's a great place to go.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, like I mean, it's not deep into Florida. It's not deep into the South. It's just kind of right on the edge of both of those things. It's nice. It's right there, and they got great beaches, great sunsets.
Yeah, I was right on the Atlantic Ocean, man.
Yeah, it's nice. Dolphins, lots of dolphins. If you're like look out there, have you seen,
Yeah, I didn't
dolphins
see
while you're
anything
there?
like that there.
Oh, there's so many. I wonder why you didn't.
Or well, I think I did see some stuff like jump out of the water a couple times, but I don't know.
I think I'm mixing it up with Tybee Island here.
Yeah,
I didn't
right.
want to
'Cause
Tybee
this
Island.
is in
Yeah.
this is off the Carolinas, man.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, the water down there is all warm. It's a whole different place. Yeah. Back to movies though. Any classic movies Joey Koff loves to watch? Any movies you really
Oh,
would
man.
recommend?
Well,
to
I
me?
mean, I said earlier, White Men Can't Jump. That's one of my favorite movies.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of movies I like, man.
Is that Spike Lee? Did he direct that? I have no
I don't
clue.
think so.
Okay. But yeah, some other ones. There's lots of them.
Yeah, I mean, like the Chris Farley movies, Tommy Boy, I really like.
Yeah, Chris Farley's a legend.
Dumb and Dumber. Man, Forrest Gump. I mean, Scarface. As far as gangster movies, Goodfellas. Oh man, I mean, I could name hundreds of movies probably, but yeah, there's like a lot.
They really ain't what they used to be, man. They ain't what they used to be.
No.
It's really true. Like you want them to be, but you list all these movies.
And then
that's
even
a whole
like the old
different-
karate movies, like the Van Damme movies, I always
Oh,
liked
see,
all
those I haven't
like,
gotten into.
like
A lot of those you listed.
Bloodsport.
What? Say again. I'm sorry.
Like Bloodsport, Kickboxer, I love those. Even the Steven Seagal movies, you know what I mean? I always liked those movies.
Yeah. Steven Seagal movies, are those fighting movies too?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I haven't really watched
Like
them. I
Out
don't
for
know.
Justice is the best one, I think.
Okay.
But there's other ones, Hard to Kill, Marked for Death, Under Siege, you know.
Yeah. Which one started it all? Which one was the one that really established the Steven
I think
Seagal
it was
formula?
Hard to Kill, I believe, was his
Okay.
first movie, if I'm not mistaken.
This is the first. What was it like? Because he's kind of got a thing that he does in his movies.
Well, he does Aikido. That's his
Yeah.
thing. So his fighting style is like joint locks and throws and shit like that, and
Oh.
using your like momentum against you. And he actually is like a high level black belt in Aikido.
Yeah. Similar to how Bruce Lee used his fighting.
Yeah, he was
methods.
Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he does that in the movies, and I mean, a lot of times he plays a cop, you know what I mean? And like my favorite one was Out for Justice, man. I just
Okay.
love that movie, man. He was in New York. He was a cop. His friend gets killed. His buddy that was a cop, and so he goes out for justice. He goes renegade and tries to settle it himself, and beats everybody up in the process. And it's just a badass movie, man.
Yeah. And I imagine what year is this? Do you know? It got to be early thousands if it was one of his earlier
No,
ones.
it was in like the 90s now.
Oh,
Maybe 90,
wow.
93 or 9. Well, maybe 91, 92, 93. Somewhere around there, I think, is when that one came out.
Steven Seagal, classic Steven Seagal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, yeah, it's got to be a whole different animal. You just don't get that no more. You literally can't with Steven Seagal movies. It's a whole different thing.
No.
He still does them, though. I think he still does those films.
All them guys, like Van Damme still does movies, and I heard
Yeah.
they're actually great, but, you know, the novelty kind of wears off. Like when you're a kid, you're into it, and it's all cool, but then it wears off. Like,
Well, the movie that just popped in my brain, there was that Expendables movie, I believe it was called, and it was a bunch of old action stars,
Yeah.
and they were all like Rambo and Sylvester Stallone and a couple other people.
Yeah, there's like some UFC fighters in it and a lot of good actors. And I mean, it's cool to see a lot of them guys being old, but still being like.
Well, the whole joke was that they're playing into that, though. They're old and they're still doing it. And like, that's kind of, there's a comedic element to it. Like, there's something funny about it, but you can't escape it either. Like, you can't. They're playing that same role for forever.
Right.
You can't do it forever. You can't. Imagine being the Terminator.
Well, that's what was cool about Sylvester is that like so he did Rocky, but then he obviously got to a point where he's like, hey, I can't really fight anymore, so I'm gonna be a trainer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can find a different thing. That's the best thing you can do. Yeah. But there, like you said earlier, there are a few good actors now. I mean, what are your favorite actors of the early '90s? Maybe around that time when you did watch movies. You like Mark Wahlberg? He was in.
Yeah, I like Mark Wahlberg. Yeah.
He was a good actor back then. I'm trying to think of somebody else who was in. Leonardo DiCaprio. He was pretty big back then. Tom Cruise.
Yeah, definitely.
He's great.
Yeah, he's a hell of an actor. Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks. You know.
Tom Hanks, right? Yeah, that's around back then when he got real big, right? Or in the '80s. That's Tom Hanks.
Al Pacino. You know.
Yeah. Of course, Robert De Niro is a great actor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Robert De Niro for sure, man. Joe Pesci.
Yeah. Joe Pesci's underrated just because he didn't do a whole lot of movies, from my understanding, right?
Like some of his roles, they weren't like starring roles; they were like supporting roles. You know what I mean?
But he's just so good at doing that.
But yeah, he's that guy for real, man.
He literally is that guy.
Yeah.
He was that guy even in the latest Martin Scorsese movie where they de-aged him. He was just a random side character that was there for a little bit, and that was about it. And it was a 3-hour movie, but still, he's only there for probably, 15 minutes?
Yeah, he's a hell of an actor, man.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, there's a lot of great actors. I think there's a lot of talent everywhere. It's just all a matter
Carrey,
of... Yeah, Jim
also,
Carrey,
you gotta show him love.
Yeah, Jim Carrey, especially some of the stuff he was doing back then, man. He was really on to something.
Ace Ventura and The Mask, and like I said, well, I think I already mentioned Dumb and Dumber, but yeah.
Grinch was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My son was in that play a couple years ago. He did the Grinch one for Christmas. It was
I
funny.
loved Grinch. Who was your son was in the play? Who was he?
Yeah, he was just like one of the village people that came up and would like say little things. Yeah, like introduce like a scene and talk about it, and then sing Christmas caroling and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
Sounds like a good time. The only play I've seen like that is the Shrek play. But hey, man, that sounds better, to be honest. Well, Shrek was fun, but that sounds great. A Grinch play. Grinch is close to Shrek. They're both green things.
Green and mean.
Green and mean. They're both green and mean.
Mean green.
Lean, green, mean machines.
Not lean. Shrek wasn't very lean. But
depends on how you look at it. He had a lot of muscle, I would say.
Well, didn't he do something, though, to start, like, looking better? Didn't he turn into, like, a freaking prince or something?
Well, when he was a man, he wasn't too bad. He had a nice body shape when he transformed into a human at the end of Shrek. Spoilers, but I'm saying it. At the end of Shrek 2.
I'm sure you guys have seen Shrek before. Like,
imagine some person, somebody out there listening to this.
God damn it, I was watching it after this podcast and you ruined it.
Right. That human probably exists somewhere. But
That's
you're
funny.
right. You're right. I probably passed the expiration date on Shrek 2. It's probably okay to say it. But Shrek did become a human at the end of Shrek 2. There's a human version of Shrek. And
didn't he become, like, arrogant?
Well, I don't know about that. I can't remember. I don't think so. I thought it was like
he did. He, like, started being cocky and arrogant. And this girl, to his girlfriend and stuff. And she's like, I don't like you no more or something like.
Oh, see, man, it's been so
I thought that's what it was.
I thought what happened was he was transformed into a human and she didn't recognize him, and it was something like that, but I might be wrong.
I mean, I haven't seen it in years either. I don't freaking know, man, but like...
Dang it, man. I wish we had...
Jamie, pull up Shrek.
Jamie, pull up Shrek. See, this is the thing. I've made the joke so many times on the podcast. I, have the joke pop up in my head like you just said. It already occurred to me. I just stopped making the joke because it's like I interrupt what people say. I say the joke so many times... I'll say it 3 times during one podcast just because that's why it's common sense for me to have a person that looks things up. Like, dude, you know how convenient it'd be if you were always just having a third person sitting there? You know what made me really realize it is I was talking to somebody, like, okay, at my work we have a window opened up now, and so we're selling coffees out the window. And people just walk right up. And there's
I thought
this
you
guy.
worked at a massage parlor.
No, only on the weekends.
Roost's Rub and Tug.
That's only on the weekends.
You got drive-through windows now, damn.
Hey, man, you weren't supposed to mention Roost's Rub and Tug publicly, but hey, now that the people know, just if you know where to look, you know.
It's a plug, man. I'm plugging it for you.
I know, but I was trying to be careful with that.
That's all right.
But, anyway, we got the window, and people are walking up ordering coffee. You've got a regular, and he's a cool guy. And I'm talking to him for a while. And, oh, man, I'm forgetting why I brought this up. Gosh darn it. It was somewhere in there. But I'm talking to the guy for a long time, and it's going to come to me. What were we just talking about?
We were talking about Shrek, and he turned into whatever. And then we were talking about Jamie. Pull that up.
Jamie pulled that up because it's like I was talking to him, and we were talking about something, and I wasn't even thinking about looking anything up. But he just mentioned something. He's like, oh, I don't know when this was, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, the girl that was in between us as we were talking just randomly says, like, 10 seconds later, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, I didn't even know she was looking it up, and she looked it up that quick, and she just said it. And I realized how convenient it was to have a third person who was just silently looking things up and mentioning it at the right times. Like, if you had a person monitoring conversations like that, it's not even just so you're right about things. It's like, you just learn more.
Yeah.
So often we just don't know.
No, I like to learn shit because, like, I've been wrong about a couple things, but I'm not, like, embarrassed or mad that, like, I like to be corrected because now I'm not ignorant. I'm informed. And so
I'd rather know. Yeah. And it'd be better to have somebody there who can inform me. Like, that's what they're there for, is just to look things up and inform me just in case. Because what if I go on 10 minutes about just some random thing?
Yeah, you're totally full of crap. That's what I like about Joe Rogan, because he actually wants to be right.
And
he wants to hold his guests accountable, too. So he'll be like, Jamie, pull this up. Like, let's make sure we're right about it.
That's what made me click. That's what made it click in my brain, is I saw the girl do that, and I thought, oh, like, that's Joe Rogan's life. And that's why I mentioned it earlier. It's like, it must make him smarter, and it must really help. Because, like, all the time, that's what he's doing. Is like, if you said something wild, they'd be like, yo, check this out. Like, I'll just let the person know over there, and that would be the whole muscle memory of the exercise, to the point where just in everyday conversation, I have this encyclopedia memory, because I do this all the time. I'm always talking to people. So if you just had somebody there looking things up, it would help a lot. And it would ingrain it in you. It would help.
Just think about how ignorant we were, like, growing up. Like, especially me, because I remember being a kid. Like, we didn't have Google. I remember we had encyclopedias, but, like, there was so much stuff that we were misinformed about. It's like our parents said it, or a school teacher, or a friend. They said something, and you're just like, okay, that's how it is. And then years later, you find out, like, that's not what that really means, or that's not how that works. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I've heard it said in many different ways. But it's like the age of information is also like the age of people being the most stupid. I guess it's a bad way of paraphrasing it.
Well, because they use it as a crutch. They don't have to use their own critical thinking. They're just like, I can look this up.
And then you just turn off that part of your brain, and eventually you don't even
like some people. Like, I remember this guy when I used to work at the taxi company, and he was like an older guy. He was older than me, but I remember, man, because we had GPS, obviously, but like, still, if you're in Flint and you've lived here, you know the area. You should know the area. And every place I would send him, he would be like, what's the address? And how do you get there? And I'm like, dude, like, we're in Flint. Like, don't you know how to... I'd be like, go to the mall. Go to the Genesee Valley Mall. If you're in Flint and you grew up in Flint, you know how to get to the Genesee Valley Mall. You don't need a freaking address. He'd be like, what's the address? I'm like, what's the address to the mall? I'm like, he's like, yeah, I'm going to put in my GPS. I'm like, how long have you lived in Flint, bro? He's like, all my life. I'm like, and you don't know how to get to the mall by now? He's like, oh, and like, I just use the GPS for everything. So, well, yes, it's obviously a useful technology. Like, if that's all you ever use, you're not using your own brain. You're just like on autopilot, and you got to pay attention. You know what I mean?
And you section those things off for so long, you forget how to do them. That's why self-driving cars kind of freak me out in that way. And I think nobody really talks about it like that. It's like, if you section off that part of your brain where you know how to drive, you know how to navigate on a road, give that 20 years of nobody knowing how to drive anymore. Like, everybody just forgets how to drive. And then throw them back on the road and tell them to drive manually. That's going to be wild.
Like, people are getting, like, more educated but stupider at the same time. It's kind of a paradox, you know what I mean?
It's very weird, but I think it comes with the territory. Like, as people have more access to this stuff, you described it pretty well. Like, they're just sectioning it. They're not using that part of it anymore. They just get lazy. They get lazy with that type of technology. And it's just, it is kind of weird, though, because you'd think it'd be the opposite. You just think we have all this stuff right at our fingertips. We can't figure it all out. That's why it'd be nice to have a guy who did it for you, because, I mean, that'd be great.
It's like food. Like, a lot of people don't know how to hunt anymore, because you don't have to hunt. You don't even have to go somewhere, and you don't even have to cook. You don't even have to know how to cook now. As long as you got a few dollars and an app on your phone, you can fucking DoorDash and have somebody bring you some freaking food now. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of women now don't even know how to cook. Imagine that back in the 50s.
That would not be good.
They would teach, like mothers would teach their daughters how to cook.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you need to do. You're a woman, you're a homemaker. Like, you need to learn how to cook. Now, I mean, there's so many women that don't know how to fucking cook, man.
Yeah.
And men and women. I think everybody should learn how to cook, not just females. But I'm just saying, that's a goddamn shame, in my opinion.
It is a shame. Here's a story that blew my mind. I had somebody who I knew that was staying at somebody I knew's house. And I think in the morning they were making, I want to say, a grilled cheese. That might be wrong. Could have been eggs. I feel like it was grilled cheese, though. Either way, it's crazy. But grilled cheese is almost crazier. So he's making this, and he's watching this Gordon Ramsay video on how to make it. Like, he looked it up on YouTube on how to make grilled cheeses.
Wow.
Like, he's never made anything like that before, not because he's always ordered it, but because his mom always made it for him.
Dude,
so,
that's funny. This girl I know told me that her baby dad one day called her and was like, "Hey, how do I make a grilled cheese?" Like, he didn't even know how to make it. And I mean, at least you gotta learn somehow. I get it, but
no, I get it.
That's something you probably should know how to do.
That's the basics.
Yeah.
Like, that level of inexperience is quite revealing. That's why the story is so funny to me, because it's like, bro, if you don't know that, you got to be real low on that totem pole of cooking. Like, you don't even know how to make a grilled cheese? A grilled cheese?
Yeah, that's the easiest thing ever.
Yeah, exactly. That's why if it was eggs, that's what I'm saying. If it was eggs, it would be a little bit less bad, but I don't think it was eggs. I'm pretty sure it was a grilled cheese. I think he was looking that up because, man, like, I was devastated by the story. I was like, wow, really? But it made sense because he was that guy. He was that guy who just, his mom always made him food to the point where he probably never, ever made food. Ever. He never did. So he's staying the night at somebody's house. It's like, oh shit, I have bread, I have cheese. What the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Feed a man grilled cheese, he eats for a day. Teach him how to make grilled cheese, he eats for a lifetime.
Yeah. And we all got to start somewhere, like you're saying.
No, there's been stuff I've looked up that's been pretty basic stuff, you know, cooking. Like, I'm not going to lie, you know what I mean? But
and it's nice to know. It's nice to know because by starting somewhere, I think of a lot of things this way, where it's like, we're all at a different level of mastery wherever we start with things. I mean, there are levels to everything, and some people can get better at things than other people can, just naturally speaking. Like, there's a ceiling, but there's also, like, a level of entry where it's like some people are just better at things. Some people are better at making music than other people. Some people are better at poetry than other people. You can train people to get really good at making music and getting really good at making poetry, but, like, everybody does start at a different point. So, yeah, I mean, with all things. And I think with cooking that we were talking about. Yeah. I think cooking is definitely that. I mean, like, cooking, I could figure out how to do it. I would shame myself.
There's some people who are like naturals at it. They just naturally kind of have common sense in that area. Things just make sense to them. Just like people that are mechanically inclined. Like, they just, the way their mind works is like they just kind of know how to put things together, you know.
You throw a car in front of me, you tell me to change out the brake pads, man. I'll even have the video. I'll have all the resources I need. I'm going to do a terrible job. This is going to be awful. I won't want to do it. And I can do it if I absolutely had to.
Right,
it's
that's
like, some people are just mechanics at heart. They naturally, we say that, and they're like, oh, yeah, I want to get that done.
Yeah, I know people that like can just do something the first time and just know how to do it. It's like, how the fuck do you know how to do that? You know, it just makes sense to them.
It's a good skill to have.
Yeah, hell yeah, it is.
I mean, but... yeah, I mean, it's just different inclinations for everybody, I suppose. It's one of those things.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, imagine wanting to fix TVs. And one time I went to a TV repair shop, and I was thinking, man, like, that's this guy's life. He repairs TVs. He has a shop where people bring in their big-ass 45-pound TVs. He's got to throw them in his truck, bring them home, throw a new LED screen on it. Huh. That's his whole life. Like, I wonder if that was what he was thinking about growing up.
I don't know. Some people are like that, though. They start messing around with shit when they're kids. Like, I got friends that when they were little kids, they were, like, putting together computers and taking shit apart. And, you know what I mean? And I think it's a wonderful thing. I mean, we need people like that, obviously.
That's a great point.
Not everybody can be rappers with podcasts. You know?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it like me. But technology repair people are awesome. They're awesome. That's how I got my computer done right there, the one we're recording on it right now.
Nice.
Yeah, I love them. I'm lucky enough to have a guy from school that I just knew, so we were kind of like homies, and I was able to have him help me build that and have him help me make sure that all the pieces are going to work together. I don't want to... it's kind of like we were talking about with cars and just being mechanically
Like
inclined.
you could do it if you really tried,
Yeah,
but, you know.
I don't want to do that. So yeah, shout out my computer people and my repair people and my technology people. Like I need them.
Yeah.
It ain't me. Not all of us can be rappers with podcasts.
No.
That's the truth. That's really true. It's really true. Not even all the rappers can do it. It's not even. Not all people can be anything. I mean, that's kind of the moral of this whole thing.
You can't be anything you want to be. That's the lesson for today's show. You can't do anything you put your mind to, kids.
Okay, asterisk. You can't do anything you want to be. You can't be anything you want to be unless... No. Let me rephrase. You can't be anything you want to be...
Unless you're Bruce Jenner.
Unless you're Bruce Jenner. Okay, I figured it out. You can't be the best at anything you want to be. You can't do the best at anything you want to do. You might be really good at it. You might develop skills, but there's no way you'll be the best unless you're like the chosen one or one of the chosen ones.
That's like me. Like I'm not really good at running. Now I do work out and I do run, but I don't care how hard I try, how many times I run, how many miles, I'm never gonna beat that like one of them dudes from Kenya. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That runs like a freaking 4-minute mile or whatever. Like I'm just never gonna do that. No matter how hard I try, I'm just not built like that. You know?
That's okay. There's something nice about that.
Yeah, it's okay. To know that. It doesn't mean that you should never try or never set a goal. You should always think big and try and work hard. But I just know that I'm never gonna. That's just not something I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, I try to think of things like when it comes to that, I would try to think of things like it's me and my personal experience, and I just get too in my own head. Like these are things that I only know about because I've seen them on videos or read up them. How often have I seen a Kenyan guy running? How often have I seen somebody running super fast? Not that often. Like even when you're in a city, you don't see people sprinting by you 24/7. So if you get in like a good run, you should be proud of that. Not a lot of people are even just going for the run. They're not doing it.
Yeah, most people don't even work out at all. You know what I mean? If you just work out a few times a week, you're ahead of probably 80% of people. You know what I mean?
And even with all that being said, that goes beyond the point I'm trying to make, because what I'm trying to say is that's not even my life. Whoever it is I'm comparing myself to, as long as I run and I feel better.
Compare you to you. Do your best. Don't worry about somebody else can do something better because, yes, there's obviously always people that can do better than you, but there's always people that can do worse too.
Yeah, and there's a million things that could be worse. And life's not even about comparison. Like when you get too deep into that, you're just thinking about things that aren't real. You're in your brain. You're thinking about what is this to this and this and this. That's why I'm terrible at picking favorites. I think I finally figured it out recently. Every time somebody asks me a favorite, I don't know, and I think it's because I'm comparing, and I don't think things are meant to be compared like that. You don't have to compare anything, and when you compare, it takes the value out of the other thing. And I think everything really has its own value. It's just how you're looking
because
at
it's
it.
you could say, well, my favorite food, okay, well, yeah, maybe it's steak, but what if you're not in the mood for steak? What if you ate steak 8 days in a row? Is that still your favorite food? No, you might be like, man, I want some pizza or a sandwich or something now, you know what I mean?
You just said something to me personally, because steak is my favorite food, and I don't think I could eat 8 days in a row.
That's what I ate for breakfast today, dude. Literally steak.
I could eat at least probably 3.
I ate a steak, a banana, and some applesauce.
That sounds so good.
That was my balanced meal today.
Interesting choice. Banana and applesauce with the steak.
Yeah.
Wow. Why? Just
I'm a well-cultured individual.
That's like a light thing.
I eat a lot of fruit. I eat a lot of meat, man. That's the main thing. I always got to get some good protein. But I had some bananas, so I ate one of them. And then I opened my fridge, and I had this big-ass thing of applesauce I bought for my son, but he only ate a little bit of it so far. And I'm like, you know what? I really don't ever eat applesauce, so I'm just going to eat this. It's something quick. I don't have to cook it or do anything. I can just pour it in the little bowl. And so, I just was like, oh, that sounds tasty. You know what I mean?
I love some applesauce every now and then. I never eat it enough.
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I barely ever eat applesauce.
And it's good.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with it.
It's really good.
Yeah. Applesauce, and it's good for you? I don't know.
Well, it's debatable, but it's better for you than a lot of snacks.
It's like apple cider probably. It's probably good for you to the same extent that apple cider might be. Maybe not. Maybe better for you than that. But yeah, a lot of snacks are difficult to wage like that. Even just random things. Is nacho cheddar the same? Just the cheddar cheese dip?
You know what I found out? I never really realized it, but that American cheese, I used to eat that as a kid. That's not even real cheese, man. It's a bunch of bullshit in it.
No way. It's actually just a bunch of bullshit. Like a hot dog, that bad? Just a bunch of bullshit?
It's bad, dude. It's not real natural cheese. So now what I really like to get is raw milk cheese. I've seen it at Meyer before. The last couple times I went, they didn't have it.
How do you know?
It says raw milk right on it. It's
Okay.
made with raw milk. It's not pasteurized milk, and raw milk is better for you than pasteurized milk. It's healthier.
Where would you purchase raw milk?
Well, technically, I guess legally you can't buy it in Michigan, but what you can do is, like if you own your own cow, you can have it. So you gotta there's farms that will let you pay to lease a cow or go in on a cow. So it's kind of like you're renting the cow or whatever. How they do it, whatever, to make it legal and shit. So you pay a certain fee to say, hey, I have part ownership in this cow. And then you can buy raw milk.
We're talking just raw milk means raw milk, nothing.
Well, yeah, it goes through a filter to just get little bullshit out that could be in it, like hairs or whatever.
But beyond that, it's the.
But yeah, it's raw milk because when they pasteurize it, they heat it up to super high temperatures and it strips it of some of the beneficial bacteria and some of the nutrients. It changes the composition of it. So raw milk is better for you. It is.
Interesting.
And so I'm going to start getting it. But that's why I said it's kind of hard to get because you got to go through that loophole or you got to find a friend that has it or someone that can sell it, But
you got to lease a goddamn cow.
Yeah, you got to lease a cow just to get some freaking milk. But yeah, so whenever I see raw milk cheese, I feel like that's the next best thing. So I get that every time I see it.
See, I've just I was going to say, now that I'm in the farmer's market, I'd be heading over to just the cheese people that are right over there. Because usually people who are collecting cheese, I have to imagine they're worried about the quality and they actually eat it. Their job is cheese. If that's your business, you're going to be getting good cheese. And I've been satisfied so far. But I never have heard anything about raw cheese.
Yeah, that's raw milk. It's just cheese, but it's made with raw milk. It's
exactly,
the only difference,
Yeah, and I know that there's a... Is it Culver's? I believe that's the name of it. I don't know if they're
fast food
raw.
joint?
Oh, no, I'm getting it wrong then. But it's something that's in Detroit, and it's they make milk. Calder's. I think that's what it is. Calder. And they make dairy products, but they're known for the milk, I believe. Maybe it's just like we're saying, it all comes from the milk. And there's something about the milk that makes it way more expensive. I know it's in a glass container rather than another container, but it's not just that. There's something about
I
it.
do know what you're talking about. I can't remember what the deal is with that. But
maybe it's raw. I don't know. Maybe it's what you're describing.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look into that.
But they make ice cream and all these things.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, I know what you're
something
talking
about
about,
it is. I don't think I read that it was. What's the word you just used? It's
Pasteurized.
Maybe it's unpasteurized. Maybe that's the difference.
Might be,
but I'm not
or
sure.
Who knows? It could be made with from grass-fed cows. I don't know. Who knows? But.
Yeah, there's a million things, but I know for a fact that I've asked people, multiple people. My dad, he used to live right next to where the factory is, and they've all told me that milk is worth the price difference.
Wow.
It's that good. It is that good. And I'm talking $5 for a half gallon.
Yeah.
It's expensive. I go in there and I'm thinking maybe I'll do it today, and then I look at the price. I'm like, I can't pay this much for milk. Ain't no way.
I would, but that's because I don't really drink a lot of milk, so it would actually last me. I mean, obviously it goes bad after a while, but it would last me because I don't drink milk every day. And I was drinking a lot of almond milk for a while because I thought, well, this is better for you than milk. And in some ways it is, but then in some ways it's not because I heard that actually can damage your gut and stuff too.
Almond milk?
Yeah, nuts and peanuts and even peanut butter and stuff.
How about oat milk? Do you know anything about that?
I think it'd be the same thing.
You're telling me peanut butter damages my stomach?
Yeah.
No.
Look, I'm going to be honest. I still eat peanut butter. I just don't give a fuck because I love peanut butter. So I still eat it.
I'm a peanut butter addict, my friend.
No,
I eat peanut butter. It's crazy. I eat it a lot.
No, I eat a lot. I mean, I put it in protein shakes. I mean, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll literally just scoop some peanut butter and I'll put some honey on it and just eat it like that.
That's what I'm saying. Any excuse I can find to use it, I will use it. I'll throw some honey on there. Sometimes I eat it by myself. Protein shake's a great idea. I'm going to steal that because that's genius.
Yeah, dude. I'll take some protein powder, maybe put a little milk and some water in there, put a banana in there, put some other fruit. You know what I mean?
How do you get the peanut butter mixed in well?
Well, I have one of them Ninja blenders, so I just put it in there, and otherwise, sometimes I don't really make. Sometimes if I don't blend it, I'll just eat it spoon, mix it with the powder, the milk and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound bad either.
No, it's fire, man. I love peanut butter. So, and that's the thing. I eat pretty healthy, but there's some things I know that there's side effects, but I just like them, like bacon.
Yeah.
I know bacon's not the healthiest meat for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's got like nitrates and stuff in it. It's, you know, like there's uncured bacon and all that, but either way, bacon's not the greatest meat. But I like bacon, so I'm gonna eat it sometimes.
I could eat a lot of bacon.
I don't eat it every day, that or sausage, but I'll eat them.
What's what's the other one in that family of like? Is it not pepperoni? There's something in that family of meats. Like Italian meats in general, are they all just kind of like that? There's a lot of.
Well, it depends if it. Yeah, I mean, if it's like bologna, I guess it depends how they process it and make it. You know.
Because it's all kind of got a similar zest to it. I wonder if it's something with the zest that's going on.
Well, I know like if it's cured or if they they make it with like nitrates or whatever, then it can like, you know, supposedly cause cancer and stuff like that. But sausages too, because they're like processed, like they mix them together and do shit to them. So I don't know.
Interesting.
The best, you know, obviously
salami. That's the thing I was trying to think
Yeah,
of.
Salami.
I wonder if salami's
I love
like that.
salami. I think just moderation, man. Just eat most of your meat, like good beef and chicken and fish and whatever. And even like fish, they say. They used to be known as like the healthiest meat, but like now they say fish can have like metals and shit in them, like from the sea, you know, like fish have like aluminum and stuff in them. And so you can ingest, you know, small amounts of that. And I mean, there's all kinds of shit, man. Even the drinking water, man. So you know about fluoride in drinking water, right? Well, now come to find out it has hormones in it. Because, like, when women are on their period, you know, and they flush their stuff down the toilet, like, you know, obviously the water you drink is filtered, but that shit is so microscopic, you can't filter out all them hormones. So that's
maybe that explains how, like, vibes can be off in a whole area.
Well, that's why, like, they say a lot of men's testosterone is declining. That's one of the actual reasons, is because people are literally drinking, like, estrogen and shit, you know what I mean? It's crazy. So get you a RO filter. Get the reverse osmosis. Or get the $100 Mr. Beast water, like, you know,
get
whatever
something.
you do. Don't be drinking no period juice, you know.
Yeah, don't be drinking that period juice, fam. You heard it here first, folks. I mean, if there's anything I want you to go home with, forget that moral we said earlier.
Eat more balls and don't drink period juice.
Both of those. There it is. I think they go together well. They go together well.
Yeah, they do, man. It's men and women, equality, right?
Exactly. And I think that, like, some people needed to hear a lot of that. Eat more balls, drink more period juice. Don't drink period juice. I'm sorry.
Don't. Do not ever drink period juice.
And you don't want to.
It's not a Bloody Mary, okay?
It's not a Bloody Mary. You're crazy. What are you doing here? What are you drinking here? I mean, some people do want to drink period juice. I'm not going to lie. If that's what you're into, I have no hate for you. We're just talking general terms. There are some people that are into that. I'm not going to hate on those guys. They're into it. Some people are into it. Some people really think about that. They're like, man, if my girl's on my period, tonight's going to be a good night. Like, there's got to be a guy.
Lay down a towel or...
Yeah.
You know,
like, but he lays down the towel, like if you or I laid down a towel, we're not excited about it. We're like, all right, we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, tonight's the night.
No, I'm turning the lights off. I'm laying the towel down. Like,
yeah, I don't want to see it.
Might use a condom. Like, I don't know, man. I'm just not.
You turn the light on and you're like, oh my God.
Condom. That was going a little too far, but, you know.
I mean, man, I don't know.
Supposedly you can't get a girl pregnant when she's on her period, so that would actually be the time not to use a condom, right?
That's how I've always felt in those situations. It's like, hey, are you cool with this? Because can I do this?
You ask them? Wow, you're a gentleman, man. You're a better man than me.
I figure it's the right thing to do. I'm glad to hear that I'm going the extra mile.
Right.
I just thought that was what I was supposed to do. Yeah. It's like, hey, man, I mean, I better just see if that's appropriate here. Like, hey, I know that the odds are very low, and that's why I'm letting you know, is this cool? But you're right. Maybe I should just go for it, because then by the time it's happening, whatever, it's already going down. What's going to happen? Are you going to be like, hey, wait. 90% of the time, no one's going to be like, hey, wait. They're just going to be like, okay, well, here we are.
Yep.
Especially in that situation. Yeah, thank you. You just gave me some knowledge, actually. I think I'm going to go with your approach, not mine.
Well, especially in that situation, because you're already compromising. Like, you know, you're already kind of getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I'm already sacrificing quite a bit here.
Yeah, you're sacrificing.
I'm in the dark. I'm wasting a towel. Yeah. Yeah, I deserve something for this. You know, towels cost money.
Yeah.
This towel, I'm not going to use
And so does
this.
laundry detergent. And
can you fix that towel after that? You can't wash that out of the towel.
Yeah, you can wash it. You don't throw it away, man.
Okay.
Just do it to a red towel and then it blends in.
You're right.
But don't use a white towel.
No, see, that's what I was thinking. White towel. That's image in my brain for some reason. Red towel works. But yeah, I'm done with being a gentleman on that. I'm just going to go for it. You're right. Because, I mean, let's be honest. Like, obviously, that equation is easy to figure out. It's an easy one to solve. You're going to go for not saying it and just doing the better thing. Of course. Let's be smart.
And
here.
then, obviously, if they make a big deal about it, then okay, fine. You know.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
I'll go beat off in the bathroom then, because I'm still not wearing a condom. And you're getting nothing.
You know what? I'm done.
Because we like raw milk and we like raw sex too.
Yeah. So. Hey, baby, I hope you just had a good 10 seconds, because I'm going to go drink milk in the bathroom and jerk off.
We like it raw. We don't want that pasteurized pussy. We want it raw.
Pasteurized pussy. That's pretty good.
Oh, my God. Does your mom ever watch this?
Nah. Well, I'm not sure. Probably not. Maybe one day. I'm glad that I'm not at a point in life where I'm worried about, where I'm like, I'm not popular. I never had like a big following, so I'm not thinking about my mom just pulling that up and showing it to her friends, like, or her mom's friends even going, "Oh, I work with this girl, like she has this son that's popular. I'm gonna look him up."
Yeah, look what your son said on this podcast.
She just opens this video and goes to
he needs
pasteurized
Jesus.
pussy.
Yeah, pasteurized pussy, bro. Hey, that's gonna be a new meme.
Yeah.
Hashtag pasteurized pussy.
You know what, man? At this point, because I've considered this for a long time, like, what if my mom sees this and all that? You know what? I don't care how it goes down. Like, whatever I'm getting popular for, however it happens, like, we're in a whole new world. You know what? I'm just going to be myself. If it's pasteurized pussy, it's pasteurized pussy.
It's pasteurized pussy.
It is what it is. I'm kind of proud of it. Like, whatever it was, I'm glad it was. Yeah.
It's healthier to not eat,
It's healthier to be myself and allow that pasteurized pussy to be what it is.
Right.
And not try to be like, walk around it and tiptoe. I'm happy to be there. I'm happy to be on that.
We like our women natural. You know? We're not trying to change them.
And I imagine my women like me natural.
Yeah,
and so I'm trying to stay in that pocket.
See?
Yeah, and so I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry. I have to do these things.
I never meant to hurt you, but tonight I'm taking off my condom.
Yeah. It's just one of those things in life, You grow up and you learn, like, Mom probably doesn't give a shit about what you're doing anyway. She's got a whole life of her own.
Right.
She's just, she might be keeping tabs on you. Unless you got one of those moms that's, like, calling you if you do the slightest thing. Which, in that case, I feel bad for you. I've met some of those guys who's, like, it's like you can tell they're worried about what their mom's going to think about the things they do. And I'm just like, bro, really? But they exist. And they're, like, they exist in many ages, many shapes and forms.
My mom lost hope on me years ago. Like, she gave up on me years ago. So
it's best to not have that
she
mom.
She has no expectations at all. Like,
yeah, and you know what? I think it depends on a lot of factors. Like, you have a lot of brothers and sisters or no?
Yeah.
Because that helps if you're later on in that.
3 brothers and 2 sisters.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
How far down in the chain?
I got a younger sister, an older sister, and 3 older brothers. And my oldest brother is like, he's a lot older than me, actually. He's like 19 years older than me, I think.
So you have one that's younger than you and all the others are older than you?
19 years older than me. 3 older brothers, 1 older sister, and 1 younger sister.
That's wild, because for me, I have 1 younger sister and then all older siblings.
Yeah.
And I have 3 brothers.
Wow.
3 sisters and 2 brothers. So it's just backwards, but I do have 1 younger. So I'm in the same exact spot on that chain as you.
Our parents were whores, man.
Hey, man, it is what it is.
Wow. That was back before pussy was pasteurized. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
They were just getting it.
Back then, it was a whole different territory.
It was legal back then, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, honestly, nowadays, people, they be fucking around. It's just there's no strings attached now. They're not even worried about it. I wonder what happens when you get pregnant now. Because, like, now people got 3 boyfriends at once. So it's like, what happens if you're pregnant and you got 3 boyfriends?
Well, yeah, I bet that stat that I mentioned earlier is going to go up. So they said 10% of men are raising a kid that they think is theirs that's not.
Oh, that'll get way worse.
Now it's going to go way up, man, because women are getting more attention nowadays, right? It's so, women, obviously if you're a mildly attractive woman, you've always gotten male attention, but now with like social media, I mean, you're getting messages every single day, so your options are just like through the roof.
Maybe that's the source of the stat I mentioned earlier, where it's like more girls are saying they're dating than guys, because girls are just in these relationships.
It's way easier for a girl to date than it is for a guy. You know what I mean? Like matter of fact, I think they said 80% of women are dating 20% of men or something like that. They're all competing because they want the best man they can get. You know what I mean? So the top 20% of men, they're banging all the chicks, right? They got pick of the litter, but I think I seen a stat. It was like 33% of men like have never been laid or something like that. That are like, I don't know how old the age was, like 30 years old or whatever it was, but like guys, a lot of guys can't even get laid anymore.
Damn.
Because women have so many options. Why are they gonna pick some freaking fat loser that like lives in his mom's basement and has Cheeto dust all over his finger when she can get, Chad Thundercock that like you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like the hard part of the whole conundrum is you can't go too deep in either direction, because like I feel like if you're the guy who truly believes that like there's no hope for you and like it's just this lost thing, I'm not gonna be in that top percent of dudes, you're not gonna attract women because you've created that scenario for yourself. That's what you really believe, and you've accepted it. So it's like if that's what you are, it's what you are.
Yeah.
And that's what girls will see. So I feel like it's kind of a vicious cycle if you go too deep down. But there's a truth to it for sure. Like people who have more. Like money, just look at money and like rich guys. I mean, if you're a girl and you're
money and status is everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you see them videos and some of them are fake, but some of them are real. Where the guy will like walk up to a girl and like I seen a guy dressed in like a McDonald's uniform and he'll go up to a girl and be like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" And she'll be like, "Ew, don't talk to me." And he'll be like, "Oh damn, okay, I was just trying to say hi." And then he walks over to a Lamborghini and starts opening the door, and the girl like turns around and sees, "Oh shit, this dude's got a Lamborghini." "Hey, wait a minute, how are you?" And like she starts talking to him all of a sudden just because she sees he has a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, like what changed? You just blew me off." "Well, I'm sorry, I was just having a bad day." Like, wow, that you had to change your heart pretty quick. You know what I mean? And it's true, man. And like in status too, like if you're a really well-known person, you don't even really have to have money. But if you're just popular and other people co-sign you, then women like that. You know what I mean?
And people like that. I mean, that's kind of one thing to be happy about if you're somebody who's chasing fame or chasing some type of notoriety. Like when you don't have that, there's something great about that. You hear it from everybody who's famous. Like you don't have people you don't know their intent when they're around you. Like there's just not as much of that. Like people take you more seriously, just more as a human, because it's like they're not looking at you as the guy who did the thing. Like if you're the guy who did the thing, oh my god, I can think of people now in my brain where it's just funny. Like they're just humans, but they're the guy who did the thing. I've seen them on YouTube. I've seen them. I love their music. I love what they do. And if I saw them in real life, I'd be nervous and I'd be thinking about what I'm saying. But in the end, they're just another human. But
and the thing is like because I've been around famous people, and you got to just treat them like a regular person.
And they are just regular people.
They are, but they get weirded out when you're like, "Oh my god, I'm such a fan," and like when you take a picture, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm talking to you." Like, they might give you like a little half-ass smile and be like, "Y'all, thank you," but they don't want to be around you because you're making them uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a way to do it. I think there's a way to do it. It's just like you have to do it in a human way. Like we're talking right now, and let's say you're like super famous. You're one of the most famous rappers in the world. I would be talking to you just like I am now, but I would. So. Yeah, you are. So, and I would say, "Joey Koff," which this is true. I think your music is like the way that you approach. I would think of a thing that I actually. What I'm saying is, I think of a thing that I actually appreciate about the person, and I would actually just give them a genuine compliment, like I would anybody else. And then I would want them to feel like I really appreciate their art. I like their art not for some fake bullshit reason. They're popular. I like this about it, and it reminds me of what's great about art. What I was going to say about you is the way that you write your music is you do it in a way that reminds me about like the way that I write music, or like somebody who really appreciates hip hop and appreciates what makes a good rap song would write a rap song. You're thinking about the flow the entire time. Everything you say is deliberate, and it always has been from everything I've heard you write. It's always like there's a reason that you're flowing in the way that you are. And it's not like you're like checking boxes, like you're trying to do a certain flow. It just works. Like you're just at least for me, I'm always hearing the melody and I'm following it.
You're weirding me out, giving me all these props, man. I gotta go. No, it's too.
But like, yeah, exactly. But to me, like that's how I would do it. If they react weird, that's whatever. That's whatever.
Yeah, if you give them like a genuine compliment where you're not all like, "Oh my god," you're like all fanned out. You know what I mean?
Because, I'm just telling them what I really mean. If if it's weird to them, then whatever, I just carry on like this. But if they like it and they want to hear that, that's awesome. Like, if someone said that to me, maybe it's the reason I do that. Because if someone said that to me, I'd be happy. I'd be like, yes, like thank you.
Because I think
appreciate that.
Well, the thing is like as an artist, like that's what you really do it for. Like yeah, the money and all that shit's cool, but like we're all secretly like we all really just want people to like appreciate and value what we create.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is with somebody who's like already made it is they've already heard that a million times. It's
That's
like
why I go for
they
something
already
genuine.
know that like yeah, people like my shit. So when you come up to them like, oh my god, I'm such a fan, they're like, oh, here we go again. Like you know what I mean? Like the first time they heard it, they were probably like, oh my god, like thank you, like you saw my movie or you heard my song. They probably really appreciated it.
And that's why I got on it in the first place, because you have to be wary of that if you're that guy. It's like, is this guy hanging out with me because he really likes me, or is he hanging out with me because he saw that thing I did and he thinks that's cool and he wants to be a part of whatever it is he thinks that I'm a part of. But yeah, I mean, like, and that's why I would humanize it. That's why if I was talking to somebody like that, immediately I'd be like, well, this is what I like about it, and this is what I like about what you do, or whatever. And then I probably wouldn't even bring up what they do. Like, this whole podcast has just been us chatting. And I don't even do it deliberately. It's one thing. Like, it's more natural to not bring up. Like, if I was constantly going back to, hey, tell me about your rap life. Hey, tell me about what
most podcasts I've been on, that's how it is. Like, you know, like we talked a little bit about whatever, but like, yeah, it was
we
like,
barely talked about music this whole time.
When did you start rapping? So, like, what are you working on now? Like, what about this? And like, whatever, it's cool. But like, to me, I think I'm more, I don't know, I would be more entertained by a podcast like this. Like, sprinkle in some little like information about the person here and there.
Yeah.
But, like, just talk shit and see how they really are, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's no time and a place for that podcast, though. Like, if you came in and especially if you told me beforehand, because sometimes I'm curious. I want to know about somebody. So I guess that's in a situation. Like, if you're, like, somebody who's got a big following, I'll ask a bunch of stuff about, okay, what was it like, blah, blah, blah. I'd want to know those things. I might even fuck up and just ask that off camera before just because I'm interested.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. But it's like, it's either that or it's like, you know, sometimes it's just like, it's nice to know people's origins and all this. You want to get at, like, what it is that makes them, like, tick. And so you want to ask questions. You want to be prepared at least. But with all that being said, like what you just said, podcasts I listen to, it's exactly what we're doing.
It's
and
just
so to me,
off
that's
the
the natural
cuff,
thing. It's off the cuff.
Yeah,
we're doing
it's
what we.
authentic. It's organic, you know.
It's organic. It's totally organic. You couldn't even fake it. You couldn't.
Right.
You could not write out what we're doing right now. It'd be impossible. Like if you wanted to make this conversation in a movie, it'd be so.
Hell no.
You couldn't do it because the way that people. I think it's the energy that's in a room. That's why I love to do them in person. I would do one over. I think at Roost Radio over a podcast or over a Zoom call. I mean, once I didn't really care for it, and I get it if you had a really good guest and you couldn't get them in. But there's just something about this. And I think
we're freestyling right now.
We're freestyling, and it feeds into that organic nature, just having you here in the room. I mean, even and all of it. It's all a human thing, and I think that conversations kind of. In that sense, they reflect a human inside of the artist, and all. That's why I love podcasts. To me, at least, my personal experience with hearing podcasts is if there's like somebody who's I already kind of liked, or if there's somebody who I haven't discovered, and I hear them on a podcast and I like their personality, immediately my interest goes up so much.
No,
for
I
whatever they do.
found so many cool people from podcasts. I never heard of them before, and I was like, oh, this person's interesting. I like what they're saying.
And they weren't talking about their art at all. Most of the time.
You're like, oh, I like this person, man.
They're just cool. You just know they're cool.
On that note, man, why don't we bust out the beats and freestyle?
That's great.
We've been talking for a long ass time. So.
I'm glad.
Holy shit. Yo. This song's called Yo. 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 The song's called Yo.
Song's called Yo. Yo, what it is. Yo, I'll be rolling, check the drip. Hey. Woo. I'll be rolling with your mom and your kids. Yo.
Hey.
I say yo.
Like MTV raps.
Yeah, you don't know.
No.
You don't even know. Hey, you already know. You won't eat and know. Hey, and I said yo.
Yo.
Yo. I said yo.
Like a yo-yo. Got her strung out. Only one time we hung out. Yo. Is what I said. I ain't even say hello. I just said yo. And then I called her a hoe. She said, did you call me a hoe? I said no. I said yo. That's what I said to the hoe. Oh, I said yo. Whoa, 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 that's what I said to the dirty ass bitch. I said, yo. No.
Yo,
Hey.
I said to this dirty ass bitch, hey, what you trying to do? Come past this.
Woo.
I say, yo, come get at this. I say, yo, I'ma smash this.
Yeah.
Hey, I say, yo, like a habit. Hey, I go, yo, like a rabbit. Like
Woo.
up and down, said
Roger.
I don't fuck around.
Nope.
Hey, they don't fuck with my sound, but I know. I say, yo.
Yo.
I know. I go, ayo. I know.
Hey.
I say, yo.
Yo. I said yo to her. I talk fast, but I had to talk slow to her. Cause she couldn't listen. Ain't no bitch getting my nuts. They won't leave Joe neutered. No. And you ain't getting spayed. Fuck around with me, you getting played. Hey, I've been this way since the 5th grade when I was only like 11. Remember my best friend, his name was Kevin. He lived 5 houses down the road. I used to go to his house every day. I would knock on the door, and when he'd say, who is it? The only thing I would say was yo.
Yo.
Yeah. No, I didn't say yo back then, honestly.
No.
Cause I was like 11, dude. Like what 11-year-old kid says yo, you know what I'm saying?
Me. I said yo.
Yo,
since
you
I
did?
was fucking 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were on the cutting edge. Shit.
I ain't even lying about that. I'm spitting straight facts in these raps. I said yo.
Yo.
When I was 11 years old.
Damn. That was
these
out
motherfuckers-
cold.
That was They
Man,
don't
you
even
was
fucking
real
know.
bold.
Real bold. And they ain't even fucking know. I said yo.
Shit. Man, I still had a cold. I was eating chicken noodle soup for the soul. Yo, while you was out there saying yo, I was sitting playing on my Nintendo. Damn.
Hey, you didn't have this flow. I said I was switching positions. They don't know. I was chilling in the crew. I was out on the road. I was doing it with the fix. And I said, yo, I said, whoa.
Whoa, but the funny thing is, when I was 11 years old, you wasn't even born.
Well, that's probably why I said,
Yo.
yo. That's probably actually the answer to our question.
You
I
were
said,
still
yo.
in your dad's pee hole.
I think yo came at a different time, right? Where
Then
did
he
yo
walked-
come from?
Well, I mean, they had Yo MTV Raps, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, that's true, but you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is that? Batman, Venom, somebody, I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's Black Spider-Man.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yo, I'm not good with the superheroes. My favorite one is Superman. But other than that, I don't really be fucking with cats. Cause I ain't saving hoes. I ain't wearing no cape. I walk up to them like, yo, like I said in the last flow. I give a fuck. I'm the type of dude to piss in your fucking Cheerios. Ruin your day, taking shit in your Wheaties. Can't no motherfucker beat me. I give a fuck about a peace treaty. I'm about war, but I like it backwards better. Yeah, that spells raw. The unpasteurized pussy. Shit. I like to pour in my milk and dick my fucking cookies. I dump my cookies in unpasteurized pussy. Woo! I ain't no wussy.
Nah. I ain't no woodsy.
My weed's fucking cushy like this couch is. I put my pee-pee where her mouth is. Get out my fucking house, kid. That's what I told my son. He was like, what? Dad, I'm only one. I'm like, damn, you can talk and you're only one? Damn. Nah, this is only fun. I'm just talking shit. I don't got a gun. I mean, I do got a gun, but I'm on the run, so I can't admit it. Cause if the cops see this, they gonna have to take me downtown, and I won't get acquitted cause I really fucking did it. I won't even deny on my motherfucking self, you know I stay snitching. Because I'm honest. Nah, I really will lie. If they detain me, I'll say my name is Thomas. And they'll be like, damn, Thomas. Middle name Isaiah. Yo, I'm a player.
Yeah.
Yo, higher than the Himalayas. Hey, let's get it going. I don't give a fuck. Shout out to Bryson Owen, that's my son's name. I do this shit laid back like a Sunday. Man, you never heard nobody spit so much flame. Call me EA cause I got so much game. But I had to refrain from the Mary Jane because it fried my brain. Now I just sit around and fucking rap all day and watch YouTube videos. Check my history while you looking at pretty hoes. I'll cause a mystery. Hey, fucking instantly. Officially, this is the longest podcast that Rue's made. I'ma rap until I get a toothache. Yo, till I get a toothache. You was supposed to come in, but you was fucking too lame. You just sitting there like stuck like glue, man. Yo, who's gay? Inquiring minds wanna know. Yo, what's up, Ruse?
What's up? Hey, I'm glad you asked that question. I wonders who's gay. I've been looking around and I've been wondering for days. I'm just saying, like, who the fuck is heterosexual? I said it's on my vegetable. It's on my brain. I'm thinking about it. Am I going insane? Like, who is straight and who is not? It's on my brain. I've got to think about something else. But I saw this dude and he was mixed, bruh. I said it's kind of the truth, like he was right in the middle. I said a song right there and he was kind of gay, like kind of a queer, lack of a better word, but that's what I mean. And he was kind of straight. I mean, like, I liked him. I don't know if he was on my team or he was with the others. And either way, it's cool, but I'm not sure, my brother.
See, I'm a Gemini. I thought he was a Sagittarius, but I found out he was really Aquarius. Who's gay? Yo, being hetero is unacceptable, man. It's so ghetto. Like, where the fuck they do that at, man? This 2023, we about to stick that ass. We about to get up in it quick and hit it real fast, yeah. I want my penis fucking brown and black, like the peanut butter that I eat that's bad for my gut, but it ain't fucking bad for my butt. Swallow a nut. No, I'm just playing. Alright, well, I think we gotta switch topics. We're getting a little bit too ridiculous. Getting ridiculous with it. If it's a guy's ass, my dick is up in it. I give a fuck.
I'm changing the beat. I can't. I gotta stop.
You might want to cut that one out.
I don't know. I kind of liked it. I liked it. There's an audience for that for sure. Alright. This guy, I used to use his beats all the time. Great beats. Shout out Lethal Needle.
Oh yeah, I got some beats from him too, actually. Yeah, he's tight.
Good stuff. Yeah. You got a great sound, always. And I like.
Got a great sound. I like the bass sounds and the breakdowns. I'll hit your fucking face now. Yeah. Man, I burn your fucking place down. I don't give a fuck. I got a gun with 17 rounds in it. Yeah, I got the ambidextrous motherfucking safety. I don't give a fuck what you saying. You can't replace me. Doing what I'm doing, and you know you can't erase me. Like the back of a pencil, I come through on a rap instrumental. I'm lethal like the fucking needle. Yeah, you motherfuckers really look feeble. Man, I'm real hip-hop, you motherfuckers going pop like a weasel. Shout out to third base, giving y'all the gas face. I'm number one and you motherfuckers in last place. Turn up the snare and I'll blast bass. I give a fuck cause I go at a slow pace and still overlap ya. Man, I'm the lyrical master, coming through I cause a natural disaster. Yeah, just like a tornado or a fucking hurricane. Yeah, I spit this fucking shit off to the top of the brain. Shout out to Mary Jane, that used to be my obsession. But now I'm letting y'all motherfuckers know that I'm about to give y'all an honorable mention for being the worst fucking rapper in the world. I come up with a knife and I start fucking stabbing your girl, Man, I'm attacking a squirrel like a dog does. I give a fuck cause you know I'm staying on, cuz. Hey.
Attacking your girl. I'm the baddest in the world, Yo, I'm badder than Earl. Yeah, I said, hey, I be coming down from space, erasing y'all. I'm like an alien, yo, I be fucking chasing y'all on my spaceship. Yo, I got amazing balls. I said they're so big, yo, it's like alien shit. I said, hey, you can't even touch it. Reptilian, the villain, come hit it. You can't. The skills with this, the skills on him, and the balls on this guy. I'm telling you. I got balls.
If it's a party, you're forever invited because you're the only dude to show up with elephantitis. This guy's balls are huge, like Donald Trump's favorite word, huge. Listen, dog, I feel like a stooge. Which one would I be? Larry, Curly, or Mo? I don't know, but I'll still walk up to a fucking hoe like yo. Shout out to motherfucking Joe Blow from Kokomo, that's what they used to call me. They thought it was actually clever to say that cause my first name's Joe. I'm like, no, you would have been better off calling me Joe Blow. Fuck that, call me Bazooka Joe. Cause I'm chewing these beats just like gum. Dumb diddy dumb. Did I get some? Man, I'll fucking twist my thumb cause I'm double jointed. My last attorney was court appointed. Yo, my last job was unemployment. Hey.
Facts. We're spitting only facts in these raps. Not like Joe Schmo. Not like Loser Joe out there.
Loser Joe.
Alright. All those Joes out there, we got a different Joe in the room. A better Joe, a bigger Joe. A different Joe. I've met a lot of Joes. This is the best Joe I've ever met. It's gotta be true. It's gotta be true.
I like this guy. Woo!
Let me just say this. He's not your average Joe.
Nope.
Not your average Joe. Put that on a t-shirt.
I'm above average Joe.
Yeah.
I'm above average Joe. Shit, I stand 6'4". Roos is like, the beat ain't playing. I'm like, so? I don't give a fuck.
Switch that flow on the beat ain't. Hey, listen. I'm the hottest in I have no idea where.
And we don't gotta rap on beat. That's old school, bro.
I didn't know
rapping off beat is the new.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Alright. Yeah, alright. Hey, I'll rap off beat. I'll try.
Alright, try it. Blueface.
Jumping on this beat, I said they don't even know I be moving round. I'm moving down. I said I got that crazy flow. Hey, I be doing it different than all these bitches. Like, oh wow, I said, hey, I go in so bad that motherfucker get slowed down.
Yeah, I'm selling fake drugs. I walk up to a dude and give him a hug. Cause I'm all about love. I burn my house down cause I just pulled the plug out. Cause I grabbed it by the cord. Oh fuck, man, here comes my landlord. He's like, you burned my house down. I'm like, sorry homie. He's like, man, you owe me rent. I'm like, fuck you, dog. I gave up paying rent for fucking Lent. Damn. Oh shit. This dick pic just got sent to the wrong person.
Goddamn.
Now I got fired again, cause I sent it to my boss.
Goddamn.
And the fucked up thing, my dick wasn't even washed. It was all dirty. Hey, plus I had herpes.
No.
Hey, yeah.
That makes it worse for sure, bro.
I had to blame it on the lighting. Yo, I'm doing a show at the Whiting Auditorium. Yo, when I was in school, I was the valedictorian. But that's only cause I was fucking 8 years older than all of the other kids. So I was like a historian, cause I knew about the past. Yo, man, I blew a lot of cash. Hey, man, I grew a lot of grass. Yo, I ain't no botanist. Ain't no motherfucker that can rock like this. It's Joey Cough in this bitch, and I'm so damn sick. I just do my fucking thing. Spit it off the brain like I told you motherfuckers. You don't like me, you lame. I don't complain, I let myself take the blame. Like I said, Joey Cough, that be my name. Used to call me Jabberjaw, yeah, I was rapping raw. I could rock from Detroit all the way to Saginaw and Traverse City. Lay me, show me them titties. I don't really give a fuck if you fat, ugly, or pretty, or skinny. Like a skeleton, if you try to battle me, motherfucker, you'll never win. You like a pelican, you picking up crumbs. I'm like an eagle, cause I'm flying way high above everyone. Man, I'm so high in the clouds, I'm looking down on you motherfuckers, making them proud when I spit it, cause you know that my flow is infinite. Everything I spit, motherfucker, is so sick. I don't give a fuck if she ain't paying me no chips. That hoe don't get no dick. Yeah, I'm so slick, like grease, like fucking oil. It's a rap like aluminum foil, so call me Reynolds, yeah, it's a rap. I'm the hottest motherfucker on the track. Something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
Something like this, yeah.
Hey.
Shit, I never miss, hey.
Shit, I never miss,
Nope, nope, never miss, hey, hey.
Shit, I never miss.
Always hit the target, bullseye in this bitch.
Like, like I got my gun and I be shooting straight at that sun. I said it's coming down, raining bullets on everyone. I said do, I get that shit done like woo, like you don't even know. I done it true, in every single flow. Hey, I be like, I know this beat's gonna end, so I don't wanna go too hard.
Like Baby Shark. Fuck around with me and I'll take you to the park.
I'll take you to the
After
park,
dark.
bitch.
Let you ride the slides.
Bitch, I'ma take you to the motherfucking park and let you ride the slides.
Let's
That's how
go,
much
bitch.
I love you,
I'll
bitch.
take you to the park.
You know what?
And let you fucking hang on the monkey bars.
Now, are we being aggressive? Is good or bad? We like that we're taking them there, or is it bad? Cause I feel like it could go either way.
You think it's all fun? I'll take you to the park around 1 a.m. Nobody is there. I heard a dog barking and you got real scared. I told you to be quiet and turn your fucking phone on silent. At the park after dark, but I brought a fucking blunt to spark. I told the bitch my name was Mark. She said, I know who you are. I said, how? She said, we met on Facebook. You're dumb. I said, wow. Well, what if my Facebook name was fucking wrong? Anyways, I pulled out my dong. Hey, and then I played my favorite song.
At the park after dark.
Yeah. At the park after dark, at the park after dark, man, the shit is the best. I showed up to the date with a shirt that says no means yes. I don't think she was impressed. Yes, she tried to call the cops, but I told her don't say nothing, girl. And then she said, what's going on in this world? And then I said, oh fuck, I think I got a Earl. Yo, and her name was Pearl. Actually, her name wasn't Pearl, but it rhymed with Earl and World and fucking Squirrel. I think I said that earlier.
Could have been Ashley.
But by the way, we were at the park and I think I started to worry her.
Yeah.
And then I tried to hurry her under the slide and then she said, why? I said, listen, I'm really a nice guy, but I ain't been laid in about since 1995. And she was like, why is that important? And I said, I don't know, but I think someone's coming, so hurry up and start fucking.
Well,
what rhymes?
It's kind of hard to say it, and I understand, but all you gotta say is you pulled down your pants.
Pulled down my pants and my name was Lance. She said I thought that it was Mark. I said, shut the fuck up, cause it's really fucking dark and we don't want no police to embark on the situation. So shut the fuck up. By the way, I'm not Caucasian. I'm Chinese.
I'm Chinese at the park after dark. I'm Chinese at the park after dark, whipping my dick out with random women.
Yo, fucked her in the butt and my dick got a skid mark. Yeah, in the park after dark.
Yeah.
Woo. Jabberjaw was a shark.
Yeah.
But now my name's Mark. Yo.
Hey, these women don't understand me. I can't even stand me.
Nope.
I'll be talking to these girls like goddamn she can't even motherfucking understand me.
Nope.
So I just whip out my dick. I'm like, hey, about this. Hey, does this make you sick? 90% of the time she say yes, but for that 10%, for that 10%, I'm at the park after dark and I'm getting my dreams coming, they coming true. I said at the park after dark, everything that you wanna do, it all happens, bro. It all happens at the park after dark. As long as you're okay.
You gotta go after dark. You can't go in the day. There's too many witnesses.
Children.
Ain't no witnesses in the park after dark. You can do anything. You can chill. You can spark. You could burp. You could fart. You could tell a girl your real name's Mark, even though she knows your whole government name, cause she grew up with you since like the 3rd grade. You can lie, it'll be alright. Hey, but when you see those flashing lights, get out of the park.
That's actually a great point. The park at dark is a better place than the park during the daytime. It's a great point.
See?
I never really thought about it that way. Like, if you go to the park at dark, you're doing it for a reason. It's fun. You're not going there for the daytime.
You're not going to fuck around.
Yeah. Like, I'm glad that we got into that, because now I know that's a thing. I haven't ever really thought about parks at dark.
You might want to add that to your notes, man.
Dude, that's going on my, like, if you're talking about my stand-up special notes,
well,
what notes are these?
Those notes over there, but yeah, you can add it to your stand-up too.
The tally is for when we meet my Jamie. But parks...
My fucking tally. I'm old enough to remember a fucking gym that was called Bally's back in the day. And also Fitness USA and Powerhouse. They say I got the loudest mouth. I don't give a fuck what you saying. I'll knock you cowards out. Yeah, flatline. I ain't never spit a whack rhyme, except for some of the shit that I was saying about the park after dark. I was just playing, but I'm a fucking shark. I'ma show you that I'm sharp like a musical note. Fuck around with me and I'll get deep in your throat, yeah, and make you blow it. I don't give a fuck, I really like to chill, I'm so stoic, cause I don't really like to show no emotion. I'm a rapper, but I'm also a poet. Yo, it's emotion in the ocean. Yeah, I like weed smoking and growing. I'm fucking rolling. Yo, I get deep up in your colon. My bars ain't never stolen. I write them all myself. I freestyle off of the brain. I'm so dope with it. You motherfuckers better find a safe space and fucking cope with it. Yeah.
Hey.
No limit.
Golden. It's so potent, it's so crazy. Ay, I go swimming in an ocean of flow. I'm so driven. Ay, they don't know I got a soul vision straight in my eyes. I despise. I said I'm that kind of guy. I'm kind of fly. I be in the sky getting my kind of grind. I said I'm like Tony Hawk on my kind of vibe. I said, hey, I'm that kind of guy. I'm like Tony Hawk. I'm like Elon Musk. Hey, yo, I said we got trust. They be trusting this shit cause I said it's real. I be saying that shit that's evident, they feel. I said I never lie, I'm that kind of guy. Hey, and I'm telling you, I be kind of fly. I be up there, I said I'm in the clouds. Yo, I got that vibe and I ain't coming down, like for real.
I ain't coming down. Yeah, no, I'm going up. Hey, what was that sound? Boom, that's us blowing up because we blowing up and we going up. And if you go against us, don't be showing up. Cause if you do, you ain't gonna leave in one piece like my bikini. Hey, yo, I got a one-piece bikini. I don't give a fuck what you saying, I'm like a genie. Hey, you need me. I told a girl you should feed me. Hey, I do graffiti. Yo, I fucking tag the walls and then I walk away smiling, grabbing my balls. Hey, my boy Roos has fucking elephantitis.
A little bit.
He's got the biggest nuts I ever seen. He don't even need furniture, he can just sit on his balls.
Alright.
Is any of this shit worthy?
This next song's gonna be about my balls. It's true, I've got elephantitis, and I'm not gonna lie about that. I be walking around, I got big balls. I got big balls. I got big balls. I got big balls. I got big balls.
Balls! The biggest balls in the world, baby!
I got big balls.
Giant. Huge, humongous.
You might think it's cool. Have you seen that South Park episode? Kinda difficult when your balls are like on the ground. You gotta drag them around. Yo, this ain't heaven, no. It ain't that kind of shit. It ain't that kind of show. You ain't bouncing around on your balls. And matter of fact, they get sensitive. How the fuck am I supposed to walk around? How does God ever expect me to live? Damn. I got these giant balls. I said a titan. I said like you said, like elephantitis. I said these balls are big. I'm dragging them. Yo, man, I said I be sagging them.
His balls are so big, but I could juggle them still. I said his balls are huge. Damn, bro, the struggle is real. I said, I wish that I could honestly say that my balls were really big and I feel your pain, but my balls are small. They're small. You can't even tell I got balls when you see me in a pair of drawers. You like, damn, yo, what's going on? Did they drop yet? I'm like, yeah, they're just smaller than a motherfucking microscopic object. You can't even see my balls unless you got a fucking microscope. Damn, you think I wipe, but no, cause there ain't nothing to wipe, nothing to swipe, nothing to shave, nothing to show, nothing to see, and nothing to bust. Say, small balls, that ain't nothing to us. Yeah, nothing to, hey yo, and the only thing I'm nutting is dust, cause I ain't got no fucking sperm in my balls, cause my balls are so small. Yeah.
Little balls, well I can't relate. I got the big balls.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry to brag. I don't mean to.
You couldn't see my balls if you looked at them twice.
Hey, twice. It's funny cause it's two big balls. I be dragging through the room.
Quit bragging.
Sorry, bro.
Shit.
Sorry,
my
bro.
balls are microscopic and your balls stay dragging.
I got 2 balls over my shoulders. Some people they holding boulders. I got these testicles. That's really it. That's all. That's
Is
You
this
know-
the weirdest freestyle session? Because I heard you and Jackman rapping about English people and shit.
No, what? No, I think I grab it. I think I attract these situations in freestyle. So
Yeah,
I
what the
actually-
hell? I don't normally rap this fucking weird. Like, what's going on, bro? Like, I'm not drunk. I'm not high. Like, god damn, bro. I'm supposed to be a hard MC, and I'm rapping about gay people and balls and, like, going to the park after dark and shit, bro.
If you want, I can always not guide the topic that far in that direction.
I don't know.
Just like, as when I'm going
It's
to the,
my fault. Like, it ain't your fault. Like, I started it.
you're playing into it. You're definitely going with this. So I'm like, all right, it's cool.
All right, let's rap hard on this one, bro.
Be hard. 'Cause
All
the
right,
thing
yo.
is, like, I go into comedy rap and then I just fall deep into it. We're gonna actually
You
rap.
think I'm gay, but I'm not.
Yeah.
You fuck around with me and you will get shot.
Yeah.
Cause I'm Joey Cough and I don't give a fuck about the next man's balls. Cause I'm a gangster, no wankster. Yo, you a motherfucking prankster. Yo, if I ever went to prison, I guarantee the first fucking day I would shank ya and fucking rape ya. Wait, I wouldn't rape ya. I'll make you catch the vapors. Yo, I'm a fucking rapist. Wait, I said I wasn't gonna spit no fucking gay shit.
Nah.
Damn, I'm sorry, there I go again. Okay, I'm back on that flow again. Yo, man, I'm a motherfucking player. I'll fuck a hoe again. Man, I make money, sell dope, fuck hoes, rape kids. Wait, what the fuck? I thought I wasn't gonna say this.
Damn,
What's
bro.
going on,
You're
bro?
in too deep. I got it in your brain.
I'm a little too weird, like my beard. Yo, I come through and fucking steer the wrong way and go up on the curb. Yo, I ain't no nerd, man. My flow is so superb. I'm the best fucking rapper in the world. But my balls are so small, I think I'm fucking sterile. I got an Aunt Cheryl that I only met once. Cause she seen my balls one time and said, alright, that's enough. You should be ashamed of yourself. Not even plastic surgery could help. I got small ass balls and I gotta be honest. I said I wasn't gonna rap about it, but it's really bothering me.
Small ball.
Honestly, I'm in the small ball gang. My balls don't hang, they so fucking small. Look at my wang. Yo,
Small balls.
all you can see is my fucking wang, cause I ain't got balls.
You know what, man? I'm sorry that I brought it up.
Brought
Because
it
I
up.
know what it's like to have small balls. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't. I got big ones. I'm sorry, bro. Don't cry. Hey, listen, it's okay. Some girls like those kind of people. Those
None
kind
of them like
guys,
mine.
dudes. Some girls, they're into that. They're into little balls. They're like, hey, I can see more of your dick than the rest of all of that. All of that ball to dick ratio. I said, hey, bro, listen, just chill. Don't cry about it. Some girls, they be smiling about it. Listen, man, I feel bad.
Yo.
I know I got big balls, but I don't mean to make you cry about my gigantic balls. And I know that you were trying to be serious in this song, but I brought up my balls, and now it's hard for you to think about other things.
I'm so humiliated. I got small balls, he's got big ones, and I really hate it.
Maybe that's the source of the frustration here. It all makes sense now. You got little balls, I got big balls. I get it, man. Listen, we can stop rapping. We can have a serious talk about this. We can go deep on your little balls.
hey,
You think another
You're really
freestyle might
scaring
help?
me. After this freestyle session, I need therapy.
Yo. I had a freestyle session.
Are we
I had
gonna
to go
rap
to
hard
therapy
again?
afterwards. I'm gonna try.
It sounds like we gotta rap hard to this beat. We can't rap about balls or being gay
I'm gonna
enough.
try my best because I think we can pull it off.
Not that there's anything wrong with having small balls and or being gay, because there's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
that stuff's
Like,
cool, but it's not what's traditionally hard.
All right,
We're
yeah.
gonna rap hard now. Hey!
Yo,
Alright. Yo!
I'll start it off.
Go for it.
Yo, listen. Where's the beat at?
Oh shit.
can't rap with no
We're still
drums.
building up. We're still building up. This is still tension.
Yo.
These motherfuckers do not understand what's about to
Yeah, I said I rap hard. I got dead bodies buried in my backyard.
Backyard.
Yeah. Like John Wayne Gacy. Nicolas Cage couldn't face me. Yeah, I know a girl named Stacy. I'm so dope you can't replace me. I feel like I need to rap hard at this beat.
You can't replace me. These motherfucking
Alright,
cops,
is
yo,
out.
they can't even taste me.
Yo,
It's
I'm
only
on fire like lit dynamite. I'm the best, all the rest spit kinda tight. If you're loud, man, out, man, hit me right now, fam. Ain't no delay, I got all kind of flights, non-stop. Book one, I be with them crooks, never one with shook ones who the whining type. I ain't talking about an app when I say that all my homeboys do is FaceTime, they ain't trying to swipe. Everybody get declined if they try to swipe. I'ma pull their whole card, I'm a square reader. I'm trying to make it out the hood like a Chevy air cleaner, but I'm here cause I ain't listening to my dare teacher. But I listened to my folks when they said life's a bitch and that hoe ain't fair either. I was never debonair with a pair of air sneakers. Dad said you can get LA gears cheaper, light them up. Rap game looking light as fuck it, I'ma write a bunch till I hype it up. Catch me leaning riding dirty, no Sprite inside the cup and no gold on my hand, but got the Midas touch. I'ma make it shine. You say the game yours, I'ma make it mine. And if you ever try to knock it, that shit like a belt made of watches, homie, that's a waste of time, get it? You just spit it, I live it. You Stephen A. Smith or skip with it, the damn critic, I pull up with it. Like a jump shot, leaving you punks drop pop. Now you feel it in your gut like when you trust in it. Should've followed your heart, tried to depart, be like Ozzy, you get shot in the dark. I could've paid someone to pop him, but I opted to spark, cause I save big money like I shop at Menards. Yeah, man, I love a good bargain. Heavy in the woods, but I use that hood jargon. Like good parking, I'm handy with them cats. Plus, I'll be getting gas while you haters push starting. You better get into gears, cause I surpass you motherfuckers by a million years. I'm really revered. If Flint and know my city will cheer when we appear. Fucking friend, we familiar here, ayy. But sometimes we dysfunctional, it's juxtaposed. Cause even though I'm just opposed to gun smoke, I'm feeling so right in the fly, not of wrong. But I'm home in my comfort zone. A bunch of thugs that roam, busting tons of chrome. We cut throat, keep a ball, but no buckets, bro. My homies from the buck get bucks. We gon' let a 9 point for the racks like a buck can grow. Dear God, I don't fear God, cause I've been through hell already. Took a lot of L's already, kept it steady. Almost every other person would've fell off heavy, but not me. I remain the same man, followed the game plan till I reached the top. Still an underground outcast, ain't no love below, but still I'm coming through your speaker box. And obviously that was written, so.
Yeah, I figured that out. That was
I fucked up one line of it too, but.
Wow, that's great. That's a great one.
I never spit that rap before, man, so it kind of went to that beat, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that was perfect.
I had to redeem myself for all the weird shit I was saying.
I think you did it well. I think you redeemed yourself.
All right, I redeemed myself.
Anybody who was over here,
I'm still gay with small balls, but at least I also got bars.
Exactly, you're getting all balls, but it's like, you know what?
At least I got raw bars. I'll smoke you like a Paul Mall. Fuck Paul Wall. Actually, I like Paul Wall. I was supposed to do a show with him one time, man, but it was he got stuck at the airport in Chicago.
Really?
It was like a snowstorm. Yeah, and so he got stuck, man.
Paul Wall, we're sorry about saying that. Your name is your rhyme.
No, I like Paul Wall, man. Let me see your grill.
Yeah, it does suck to get stuck at any airport for any reason.
Fuck yeah, I've had layovers. I hate them.
My God. I'm gonna cut this off
Let's
here.
Let's go, bro. Let's shake hands on cam.
Oh, let's do it.
Let's go, fam.
Let's do it, man. And I'm gonna do a final. I mean, how can we wrap this up?
Try to give you some fucking props here, bro.
Oh no, go for it. Do it in the microphone though. We're gonna do it.
All right, I'm trying to give Roos props, before we close this out. I just want to say thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thanks for everybody for tuning into this craziness, I like what you're doing here. I'm a fan, so keep it going, man. And I'll share it and spread the word. And I can't wait to come back. So,
yeah, man,
thanks.
and I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you being a part of it, for real.
Yeah, my pleasure, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of what you do. I really think that, as I described before, I mean, you're somebody who I respect what you're doing musically, and I think that it's clear that you put a lot of thought into everything you write, and I think that it's one of those things where we have to lead by example. Like, as a lyricist myself, it pleases me to see people out there that are following a similar path to me, and they've been doing it for a while. Like, I feel like I've been doing this for forever, and I'm sure you feel the same way.
Hey, so get off my small balls, man. They're already small enough. Now you're crushing them.
It's just nice to know. It's just nice to know there's people like you out there. I'll get off your small balls with my ginormous ones.
I can't take anymore, bro.
I know, and I'm sure there's some kind of like, my giant balls must be suffocating your little balls. And I don't mean to bully you about my giant balls. I just gotta keep bringing it up.
You've hurt me enough, bro.
Hey, if you had big balls, you'd bring it up, right?
I probably would.
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't even mad at you.
If your balls were that big.
All right, we can reconciliate, bro.
I'm glad. Hey, and then another handshake just for balls. It's great to have you guys here. It's great to have everybody who's watched this whole thing. Just imagine if you are crazy enough to sit through an entire podcast of this madness. A whole longest episode of Ruse Radio, by the way. I think we've actually broken the record. I'm imagining we're at like 3 hours 40 minutes right there. So that's crazy. That's for me, that's an achievement, so I'll take it.
We have no life. We have nothing better to do.
That's what it really proves. But I appreciate anybody who stuck around who didn't have anything better to do just like us, and they listen to this whole thing, you're awesome. Make sure to drop a comment. Check us out on any social medias, anywhere you want. Joey Koff, he's all over the place. Joey Koff, super easy to find. You're awesome. Go do something cooler than us. Go do some awesome, amazing freestyle about maybe your balls, maybe something even more, maybe something better than that. I don't know. I feel like that's a great topic, but you can make it work.
Go to church and repent for your sins after watching this. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, that might be a more educated opinion. Thank you guys so much for being here. Ruse Radio, clocking out.